Eric. I believe we are. But I will not know that for sure. What am I watching here, Eric?
I thought we had time for me to share as link.
Alright, let's see. Hold on. We got plenty of time. We're going to have...
Just something to consider talking about next week or whatever.
Oh, okay. And that's why you sent me that other thing. I'll have to look at this later, Eric. Let's see here. But yeah, I will definitely look at that for sure.
I tried finding Ohio's GOP's platform, and they apparently don't have one this year. And I don't think they've ever had one ever since 2020. Yeah. So they don't even want their constituents to know what their platform is.
I actually don't oppose this. That they want to amend the Constitution to support term limits. That's not bad. Oppose packing the court. That would be nice too.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where it's not going to have the intended effect that they think it's going to have.
Right. I mean, this is so stupid. This is why I hate partisan politics, Eric. I can't stand the whole Democrat-Republican thing, Hey, Wyland, can you hear us? Please let me know if you can hear us. I'm sure you can. That's why you're in there. But it always helps to have confirmation. But no, I can't stand the fact that we only have two parties. This is why I'm neither Republican nor Democrat, because neither party is worth a shit. And, they suck. Right on, Wyland. Thank you for being in here, my friend. We're going to have a great show today. I was watching DSP getting his cheeks clapped in this Street Fighter 6 beta. He gets his cheeks clapped no matter what he does. Wyland, he could not even be playing against himself.
I don't know why you hate watch such a pathetic piece of shit. That's just me, though.
Well, no, he likes to see DSP suffer because he sucks.
Yeah, it's like hate watching, but also getting shitted from it.
I like it. I like watching that dude in distress because he sucks. He's an asshole, and then he always makes excuses. He's playing against an Evo Pro. Oh, it's not even. What is he blaming lag, Wyland? Because usually it's lag or the game wasn't developed right or some shit like that. Like he's. I mean, he never blames himself. He's the best, and that's why I like. I mean, I know that's the reason why Wyland likes watching him too. It's gold. We're gonna have a great show. Not a ton of news, which is a nice thing. We might end today's show fairly quickly. You guys are gonna want to stick around for the Sweetos this week. I
need to edit some of my stuff on here.
I've got a really, really nice Sweeto this week. So, I don't normally... I mean, normally people stick around for the Stinkos, but the Sweetos are going to be pretty sweet today.
I forgot to review one series last week, but considering how much I was covering, it probably was for the best.
Yeah, it probably was, Eric. I've got... holy shit, what a day for... movies. I went and saw Terrifier 2. Wyland, you'd be interested in that. I saw... I didn't see Smile, but I did see Hellraiser, so I'll have reviews of both of those. I'm also going to do my final review of Cyberpunk 2077.
If I hadn't jumped down the rabbit hole of watching YouTube videos, I probably could have reviewed Morbius today, but I didn't watch it, so...
Oh, God, don't waste your... I didn't even see it. I should watch... We should watch that this week, Eric, and since it is...
on the Netflix.
Yeah.
Don't have to pay a thing.
I know. We should probably watch it and review that next week since this is Halloween month.
I wonder if it'll be my most interesting bad review since I reviewed Ghost Rider.
I'm going to wait for Smile to come on one of the streaming services, Wyland. It looks okay to me. It just looked formulaic.
Since we're in the spirit of bad movies, maybe I'll watch Spirit of Vengeance as well.
Do you have Hulu, Eric?
Uh-huh.
You do? You should watch Hellraiser.
Mm.
Good stuff. Good scary movie.
I thought that was on HBO Max.
No, Hellraiser's on the Hulu, exclusive. But I did go to the theater to see Terrifier 2.
I haven't seen any of the other Hellraisers. Is this a reboot or something?
This is a reboot, but it's a very fine reboot. Wyland, I need to watch Smile, but it's not one that I wanted to see at the theater. Terrifier 2, I definitely glad I saw at the theater. You're going to be interested in hearing my my review of that movie. Also Hellraiser 2022. And the Cyberpunk 2077 anime. And then, to end today, we are going to have round 2 of the scariest game of all time. Just fun all the way around. You could tell it's Halloween month because the scary movies come out in force. Next week, of course, will be Halloween Kills, which
Ends.
Halloween Ends, which I believe the 14th, is that a Friday?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll try to watch it before we get on the air. I'll do a spoiler-free review of it for those who you haven't had a chance to see it yet. Today's show is just gonna rock. I'm just gonna let you guys know it's gonna be good. What else we got here?
Should I make Biden's proposed plan to pardon marijuana as a stinko because of how ineffectual it's going to be?
Well, how ineffectual? Like, why do you say that? I actually think there's some good provisions in what he's saying.
No, I think I see potential, but this is also Biden we're talking about.
Well, I mean, Biden's milquetoast, dude. Like he
already massively scaled back the student loan forgiveness, which isn't even full forgiveness. It went from like a middling amount to now probably only $1,000 at most.
Well, I thought it was 10,000. I thought it was.
I said 10,000. 10,000 to probably 1,000. It's gonna be now.
Oh, fuck that. I mean, it should be all the way. I don't think they topped the hacks on the first one, but woo, they did. That's debatable, Wyland.
I think the biggest obstacle and how ineffective it's going to be is because, like, with the Supreme Court being as it is, they're not going to make a ruling, and Congress isn't going to codify anything because Congress sucks. So states are going to enact states' rights, and he's probably not going to be able to convince them because they're going to just do whatever the fuck they want anyway.
Yeah. Wyland, yeah, I think that statement is true. Trust me.
More importantly, this don't affect illegals. Illegals will still be arrested.
Yeah, which I think is dumb. I mean, come on, man. People are people. But whatever. And who's to say that anybody is illegal? You know, when people talk about open borders, I'm actually for it. Because foreigners cause less crime than actual Americans. So, it's like, punish people when you catch them, of course, but I'm more for opening up the borders and just letting anybody in. I know that's controversial and people get pissed at me when I say it.
Also, it's kind of hard to pardon people when they're not in jail in the first place, because most people just get thrown in there for like a day or whatever, and then they're let out.
I did like the callbacks to the Ninth Circle.
I mean, the most you could probably be doing is eliminating the fine and the arrests that happen now in the first place.
That's interesting that you say that, Wyland. I didn't pick up on that, but what are you talking about? I mean, all the magic stuff, obviously, I think that's what you're referring to, but I didn't know it was a reference to the Nine Circle. But I'm down for that. That's really cool.
But I mean, it does set. It has the potential to set the stage to make it a Schedule 2 or whatever instead of the Schedule 1.
Should be off the schedule, period. I mean, just get it out. Out. And you know what's stupid? Biden has the power to get it off of the schedule. And he just doesn't do it. You know, it's just so dumb. But what can we expect from the guy that...
He's like the Watcher from Marvel. I can only observe.
Right. And you know what's funny is, like, he was the one that wrote the fucking crime bill. So, I mean, get the fuck out of here. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about, Wyland, All Hallows Eve, right? I think that's what you're talking about. Did you stick around, Wyland, to see the little cutscene? Not cutscene, you know what I mean, little stinger after? It was weird. I didn't quite understand it, but whatever. I think the time frames are all weird because it said 1951, yet we're looking at the chick that had her face, you know, I don't know. It was just weird to me. Maybe we'll talk offline about it, Wyland. Anyways. Ooh, I got my dab mat. I'll be doing some dabs tonight. Yeah, baby. Open that up for me, sweetheart. Thank you.
You don't open my stuff. I wanted you to open it.
That's okay. I got my hands full with the mic. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, very, very nice.
Yay.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yes, I do. It's right. And then all I need now is, and I'll get one when we go to the smoke shop later, is a dab tool.
And a torch.
Yeah, I need a torch, but just the dab tool. I haven't done dabs in, it's been at least 2 years, 3 years.
You gotta do it tonight.
Definitely doing it tonight. I don't normally like dabs, but I need something for this back pain.
Your audio is going warbly.
My what?
Your audio is kind of going warbly in and out.
Is it better now?
Not really.
Shit. Well, let me call you right back, Eric. Hold on. Boom. And let's call Eric right back. A short got added to All Hallows Eve. All of them are in that movie. The only new stuff was the babysitter. Ah, now I remember, Wyland, because I did see All Hallows Eve, and I figured that's what you were talking about. And it's weird because Bernie and I... Can you hear me better now, Eric?
A little bit.
Okay. Bernie and I were discussing Art the Clown and how he's got to be like a demon, right? Like I mean, you know, there was talk about Michael Myers and how he's, he's the shape for a reason, you know, and how like they tried to make sense of it with the Thorn trilogy, which I like, but it's not, it's not my, to me it's not that I don't consider that canon. Did you watch the behind the scenes? I did not, Wyland. I didn't want to stick around for that. Was it cool? I just figured I'd catch that on DVD or Blu-ray later. But is what it is. It was only a couple minutes. Oh, okay. I'm glad I didn't stick around. I'm gonna add my mom and Bernie with me. Art is a demon. Yeah. See, I figured as much, Wyland, because he can't go through what he went through, and I did have a question, Wyland. Like they showed him getting out of the morgue. Was that like a flashback? Because supposedly it was like the day after, something like that. Oh, they confirmed it. Okay, all right. Man, maybe I should have stayed for that behind the scenes thing. Oh well, I'll see it later. Yeah, I figured as much. He has to be a demon, right? And then all that stuff with this chick. I mean, that chick is hot as hell, Wyland. But she's got some. I think her dad was in the know. He was some sort of like angel consort or something of that nature, because he knew what was coming. And she's got his blood, so she's obviously special too, and that's why what happened happened. But there's more to those movies. See, we'll talk about it, Wyland, when I do my review. There's more to those movies than meets the eye. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Nothing's going to top that kill from the first one. The beginning of Terrifier 1 takes place during Terrifier 2. Oh. So you were right, Bernie.
I was.
It was a day after, but it seemed like to me it wasn't. It stated there was a year time jump or something. I don't know.
No, I think it's from the attack of the girls from the first movie, and then the interview was a year later with the disfigured girl.
Oh, okay. So they haven't gotten to that point, but the disfigured girl was in that stinger.
The disfigured girl is a sister.
But that was 1951. It said 1950. Oh, maybe if the asylum was founded in 1951. Yeah. Oh, okay. I got you. It makes more sense to me now. We're just waiting for Break to get on in. Hopefully, I'd see him online. He always has problems with Skype. So, and I saw him on the old Twitter. So I know Wyland, or not Wyland. I'm looking at Wyland's name. I know Break is here, so no worries. We'll get him on in, and we'll get this party started. Let's see if he's even in chat yet. But lots to talk about today. I see Breakman is in the chat, so I think he's almost there. Danking Around is in there. Katina, I hope I pronounced that right. And Valentina Alcaraz back for, like, I don't know, the umpteenth time in a row. Welcome on in, everybody. Just waiting for Break. And then we'll get this party started. It's going to be a fun show. Should be a shorter show this week. Kind of hoping for that because I got some stuff to do. I do wonder if Jericho is going to be the next. Why would he be, Wyland? I think that was just a one-off. I don't think he adds anything. Let's see. It seems like his character's connected. Oh, well, maybe. I mean, if they can. Let's try to give Break a call here. Let's see. I don't know. I thought it was an odd appearance myself, Wyland. I didn't see, Oh, he recognized it. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to watch that movie again, man. Let's try to get Break on in here. Sometimes I miss the obvious, Wyland, First time through. Sometimes it takes me a time. Like we were talking about, like Necronomicon appearances in other movies, and what was the other thing? Bernie, Freddy's glove. My brother thinks that he's the dad of the little girl. Oh, wow. That's a wicked. You said that, didn't you?
The dad of the daughter. The girl.
No. The little girl, the weird demon girl. Jericho that's the theory. That's his brother's theory. Hey, Break, do we have you? Let's try Break again. Let's try calling him. We'll try calling Break again. That could be, Wyland. That would be a weird connection. And I hope they do a Terrifier 3. I mean, they're doing it the right way, though. It's independent, but somehow, I don't know how they managed to get it into the theater. only for a week, but that sucks. But whatever. I got to see it, so it was kind of an impromptu thing too. I can't. So they have ideas for up to 4, like part 4 or like 4 more. That would be crazy. I wouldn't mind it. I mean, there's lots of territory there. So this is the 3rd. I consider it the 3rd. Let's see. Tried. I'll try again. Part 4. Okay. Well, I mean, it could go beyond that, right, Wyland? I mean, if Friday the 13th has proven anything, you can take anything and you can ring it for everything that it's worth and more. Let's try to add break again here. Breakman, we are on to Breakman. Maybe I need to update my Skype. I mean, Wyland, they could, I mean, technically, I mean, he's a demon. I mean, there's lots of story there, right? I mean, you know. Latest version. Okay, I'm on the latest version of Skype. Break if you're listening. The first one was okay, Wyland, but I'll talk about it when we get to the reviews. I'm there for it too, Wyland. I like it. I like that. He's this movie. Well, I'll talk about it. Breakman, do we have you? Breakman, I see you there. I do not hear you. Yes, you're
Hello?
here. Yes,
Hello?
I hear you.
Ah, sweet.
Yes.
Okay, weird. My microphone's working, but my headset isn't. Oh, whatever.
What the hell, dude? You have the
I
latest
don't know.
version of
Skype
Skype?
wasn't working before. Like you said, you called and like nothing, no ringing, no nothing.
That's really weird. I called like twice, and whatever. We're glad you're here. That's all that matters. You need a second to get your druthers together or anything?
It's fine. I was already loading links and stuff. Skype was the problem. Nothing
Okay.
else. Just
All
Skype.
right. Well, let's get this party started. What do you say? You ready to go, Eric?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go, as they say. Oh shit! I fucked up already.
They say that? Why did they say that?
I don't know. They just say it.
I'm hearing.
And now I'm getting a weird echoey thing. Testing 1 2. Okay, it's better now. Do you hear me okay, Break?
Yeah, you're still fine.
All right, here we go. Oh, damn it. All right, hold on. Shit, technical issues. Okay, here we go. And welcome everybody to episode 709 of everybody's favorite role-playing game podcast, RPGrinders. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohorts, Eric the Great, Breakman the Bold. Gentlemen, how are you? Wow, somebody's been practicing. Breakman's I mean, that was triumphant, man. That was like very, very chipper. I take it you're doing okay.
Are we gonna get a haunted harmonica playback?
Haunted harmonica. We'll play it backwards. We'll get like all kinds of subliminal messages. Breakman, that was very, very uplifting. I appreciate that. How are you, man?
I don't know how this is going to be. I have to work on that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very, very good.
I got work to do now. I need to practice. God damn it! What the fuck? I'm causing work for myself here.
Well, you brought it upon yourself, dill hole. You know. Ooh, that's something.
Part about it.
I'm so glad that I said that because now I can put in my notes to talk about Beavis and Butthead, um, which has been pretty fantastic so far. But hold on.
Honestly, last night I was in a crappy mood, and Mrs. Breakman knew it, so she turned on the new episode of Beavis and Butthead, and by the end of it, I'd forgot why I was in a bad mood.
Oh my god, dude, that last episode was fantastic. Bernie and I were laughing our asses off, man.
I've been
so
playing
good.
Disney Plus catch up, so I haven't been watching it.
I know.
They're refusing service. I could not help but die laughing every time they refuse service. Like, you're making this a work environment.
You know what was even
but
funny?
This is your job.
I know.
That's you're doing it again.
Yep. You just did it again, dumbass.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, we'll get to that and much more on today's Grinders. We've got so much for you guys. Not a ton of news, but man, this is going to be a fun show. I can tell already. I mean, it's going to be a celebration of love, laughter, and a bunch of other craziness. So why don't we get started with the news? RPG news. All right, Eric, you are up.
All right, this is actually kind of a downer of a report because Tri-Aces announced a huge loss and increased earnings in June 2022 fiscal year. Their sales for the whole year dropped by 42.9% from over 2 billion to 1.25 billion yen, which is about $675 million.
Yeah, what is their big things is Star Ocean, right?
Yeah, Star Ocean's pretty much the only thing they do nowadays.
Yeah.
The last thing they did was like a weird Valkyrie profile spiritual successor that never took off, called
Lenneth, right?
called Exist Archive,
Mm.
and that technically has nothing to do with Valkyrie profile other than the fact that the combat engine is basically the same.
Yeah, well, that is sad news because Tri-Ace, has been around for a long time, and I'm hoping that they can get out of the
two other
doldrums.
games we could have played in the West but never were released were PSP games, but that's because it was at the end of the PSP life cycle, and Sony had completely given up by it.
Yeah, they got to get out of the Star Ocean game and do some original IPs, and that should help them. They're very talented people, so I have no doubt they can do that. They just got to get to doing something unique and just do it, and they'll make money. So there you go.
Yeah, they basically made Star Ocean the divine force with no income.
Yeah, exactly, no income. All right.
So I'll be surprised if the game's actually really good.
Oof.
I kind of almost want to buy it now out of pity.
I know, but is it gonna be good, man? I mean,
I mean, I don't think it'll be worse than Star Ocean 3 or 4 were, though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Star Ocean had so much promise, and it's not the greatest RPG property in the world. So, but whatever. Anything else on this, Eric?
I kind of wish Residence of 8 got a port to the Switch or something.
Yeah.
Switch and the Xbox. Those are the only other platforms that haven't been released on yet.
Yeah. All right.
Just because the HD version didn't get ported to the Xbox One, and the original 360 game was never made backwards compatible on the Xbox One either.
Yeah. Wyland said DSP lost 13 matches in a row against that Evo Pro before he tapped out. You got to give him credit. He's stuck in there for 13 losses in a row, Wyland. I mean, that says something, I guess. I don't know what it says, but All right, Breakman, what do we got next?
I like the beats. I like what is that? BDSM. I'm into that kind of thing.
Pain and Punishment. I wonder if he saw the new Hellraiser.
Come to us live from RPG site. 5 different The Witcher games are in development. CD Projekt reveals. CD Projekt Red has unveiled its long-term product outlook. This is probably a bad idea from a company that can't fucking finish a game before they put it out.
I know.
Chiefly among those were an eye-watering 5 new games in the Witcher franchise, including a new trilogy of mainline releases. Additionally, 2 new The Witcher spin-offs, currently codenamed Project Sirius and Project Canis Majoris, have been announced to be in development by studios outside the company. Those are probably like cell phone games, I'd imagine.
Probably. I mean, that's the quickest way to make a shit ton of money.
Also, I don't think it mentions that in the article, but there's going to be Cyberpunk 2077
that's actually
DLC, but also a new Cyberpunk sequel and a new IP too.
A Cyberpunk sequel? How about they get this one fixed first? You know, Jesus Christ, man, these people.
They're planning ahead for we've got. Witcher,
I'm pretty sure most of the game has been fixed at this point.
But whatever.
I think that was the whole point of the next gen update, fixing what was broken.
It's not fixed all the way, Eric. I played the game recently. It's not. It's not fixed, man. I mean, there's.
Well, they're probably prioritizing certain things.
I guess, man. It's just. Go ahead, Break. You've been wanting to say. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I don't even remember what I want to say at this point. But they're planning so far ahead when they haven't even got the games out now that are. How long did it take them to get the third Witcher finished?
It took a long time. I think it took them over 5 years. It was like 5-6 years before that game was what it is. But to their credit, Breakman, it's an incredible game, no doubt.
Which I don't doubt, and I don't doubt that Cyberpunk will be an amazing game too when it's finally finished.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
technically
games they're releasing, and they're planning like 3 games ahead when they can't even get the games done.
I agree. I agree with you, Breakman.
It's 100%. Early access for AAA developers.
Yeah.
And look how much money they ate on Cyberpunk because they had to give out free copies of that game and stuff. Because people were so mad.
Yeah.
I mean, like this, it's a losing. I don't know.
I think I
pull it off, but I don't know.
They had to have lost a shit ton of money with Cyberpunk Break because I remember when that game came out, like everybody hated it. It was awful.
Is it worth playing now though? At least.
Yes, it's worth playing, Eric. It's solid. It's not nearly Witcher 3 quality, but it's solid. But there's still so much, man.
Oh yeah, that update still needs to happen too.
Freak 5's in chat. He says, hello, Grinders. What's up, Freak 5? Wyland says it's probably going to use the same engine and assets. I hope they do. Wyland, it's the only way that they're going to be able to do anything. Are they coming out with the second season to Cyberpunk 2077 anime, Eric? Do you know?
I think that's a one and done.
I think so, too. And I'll be talking about it later. But anyways, okay. No, I agree with you, Breakman, 100%.
They have 3 different projects, and this kind of sums it up. Project Polaris, which is the sequel to story-driven open-world RPG built on the legacy of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Currently project stage pre-production, development by by CD Projekt Red. 150 people are working on it. Wow. Again, being a new Witcher trilogy, as we talked about, and it's a part of a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
Wow. That's not enough time. I don't think that's enough time.
No, I agree.
Make it more like a 7-year plan. Maybe it's doable.
When they do Witcher 4 will be into its prime 5 years after alone, because that's how. I mean, at this point, we can assume that anything coming out of CD Projekt Red is going to be junk when it first comes out, right?
Save your money.
Save your money until 5 years later when it's like $20 and they fixed all the bugs.
Or it's like $10 on sale at the following holiday season because they bought so many copies of them the last year and they gotta get rid of them.
Oh, that's what I did. I got Cyberpunk. I bought Cyberpunk a total of 3 times. I sent one to Bernie's son that I got for $10, and I sent one to my son for $10. That I bought for $10, and I bought a copy myself. So I've spent a total of $30 on. Cyberpunk, but I mean $10 is where that game should have been to release. If you put out a game.
$10 for early access disc.
Yeah. Early access disc. Exactly. Here's your alpha, you know.
Or shareware if you want to.
Just shareware. $10 for shareware.
They used to do that kind of thing. Like, remember when they'd sell like individual levels of like Doom and Quake and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like the first, like for $5, you could buy like the first stages, and then you have to buy
the first episode, not the first stage.
Well, it was stage, man. I mean, come on, let's be real, man. Back in the day, they used to do that shit. I mean, that's where games is heading to.
There wasn't much story in those games.
Well, we talked about this in this internet age that we live in. I mean, developers don't have to come out with a complete game at all, and a lot of times they don't.
I'm trying to tell you, with shareware, it's always been this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other blurbs are really vague. It says Project Sirius, an innovative take on the Witcher universe, telling an unforgettable story for existing Witcher fans and new audiences.
Yeah.
And Project Canis Majoris, story-driven, single-player, open-world RPG set within the Witcher universe. These are the most fucking vague statements ever. Why is this even a story?
It's not. It shouldn't be, man.
Except for the insanity of CD Projekt.
Yeah. They are insane, man, and they come out with incomplete games. I mean, they're getting that rep, you know, and it sucks because Witcher 3...
Crappy development project. That's what the CD is for, right?
Crappy development project. Yeah, exactly.
It sounds like they are really heavily invested, and everything they do is to please their investors, so they rush everything out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's...
It's a bad strategy. I mean, we just talked about how much money they lost and whatever, but...
We are going to move on. This story is actually really interesting. Even more chaos here from RPGsite.net. Key members of the Disco Elysium development team, Disco Elysium I heard is fantastic, including lead designer Robert Kurvitz, have reportedly left ZAUM.
They haven't left. They've been forced out of the company.
Okay, well, that's that's how journalism works.
One way or another.
Yeah.
So or not, they still left.
Yeah, here we go. After publication of the original...
I'm just telling you, it wasn't voluntary.
Okay, hold on.
No,
Here's the update. I know.
I don't know why they're trying to be nice here.
We're mincing... Well, I mean, all these fucking websites have to mince words to stay on everybody's good side.
I think the only reason they did is because they're not entirely sure that's actually the case, but it's very likely that it was not the case, that they had to be kicked out of the company.
Okay, well, here we go. Let me give you the update here. After publication of the original article, which I won't go over, Alexander Rostov has confirmed on behalf of Robert Kurvitz, Helen Heinpeer, and himself via Twitter that the trio is no longer at ZAUM. Additionally, they provided this statement. Like any video game, the development of Disco Elysium was and still is a collective effort, with every team member's contribution essential and valued as a part of the greater whole. At this time, we have no further comment to make other than the creative team's focus remains on the development of our next project, and we are excited to share more news on this with you all soon. Kotaku has also reported, via anonymous sources familiar with the situation, that Kurvitz's departure also contained a threat of possible legal action. According to two sources familiar with the situation, the studio's internal announcement of Kurvitz's departure late last year also contained a threat of possible legal action against him. Any split would have been made messier by Kurvitz and Rostov being shareholders in the studio, the sources said. So there's not enough information here, but it sounds like some shit's about ready to go down. We'll find out more when
they're making a sequel without them, and a sequel being made about a game that talked about the bullshit about capitalism is kind of capitalism.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever. You know, I mean, it is what it is.
Why would I even buy the sequel?
I don't know. Maybe the sequel's good. I mean, the first game supposedly is really, really, really good.
It's not going to have them. It's probably not going to be nearly as good.
That's true, too. That is true. There is something to that, Eric. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe they get a couple of talented people in and they make it really, really good. We don't know. But I still have yet to play Disco Elysium. I keep wanting to get it, but I keep waiting for a good sale on it, too. I've got too much other shit to go through. Freak5 Break says, Break, did you watch the new Beavis and Butthead episode yesterday? We talked about it, Freak5. before we got started, really. We'll talk more about it.
We reserved a right to refuse service to you, freak.
Yes, we refuse
We'll
service.
I'm deciding whether or not I should buy the Steam version of it because I can play it on my deck, or just get a console version.
Freak 5, I refuse.
Because I don't know the Steam Deck I can actually play it well.
Yeah, I refuse, Breakman, and I refuse, Eric RPG. All right, let's move on to the next story, Eric.
The next story is Ast Libra Revision. It's a side-scroller RPG. It's launching for Steam on October 13th, so if you want to give me a gift, this would be something I could probably not play on my Steam Deck. But just give me a Steam card or something, or gift it to me.
Oh yeah, Eric's birthday's coming up, I think, before the next show. So if anybody wants to give Eric a gift, he's on Twitter.
Happy birthday, yeah.
I was preemptive. I gave him an extra $50.
I'm not sure if my Steam name is on there, but it's funny T Man.
Yeah. All right, and this looks fantastic, by the way, Eric. It looks really good.
It's a remade version of the developer's original Ast Libra title, and which was an unfinished RPG that was released as a browser game in 2011. And it's kind of got like some Odin Sphere vibes to it.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. It does have a little bit of Odin Sphere, just not quite as polished and not as pretty. But, I could see that. Looks cool. Looks cool for sure. All right, anything else on that, Eric?
No, not really.
Breakman, you're up.
Coming to us live from RPG site Wild Boys Studios and Untold Tales bring Norse mythology RPG Atone, part of the Elder Tree, to the Nintendo Switch and PC in early 2023. Let me see. It was originally released in 2019 as an Apple Arcade exclusive. There's a demo on Steam now available. Atone is described as a hand-drawn, story-driven rhythm combat RPG. Provides a haunting take on Midgard as players encounter choices that will affect the story and ending. I guess that sounds kind of cool and all, but the whole rhythm-based fighting, I'm gonna suck.
I suck at those games too, Break. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Everybody loves those games, and it's just not my cup of tea. I guess you have to have rhythm in order to play
Well,
those
it's not that
games.
much different from Shadow Hearts' combat system where you have to hit the things at certain times.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Eric. I did okay with Shadow Hearts, whatever. Okay.
Inspired by inspirited by the mechanics of the titles like Guitar Hero and Dance Dance Revolution. Combat is entirely skippable if players can jive with its rhythm-heavy nature, though. I like that.
Yeah,
you probably alter the intensity level too if you still want to use it.
Freak Vibe says,
for people who suck at rhythm, they can just skip the combat. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of the game is combat for me, but whatever. At least I can get through.
Yeah, sometimes like I've I don't know. This harkens me back to the All Games days, Break and Eric, like when Derek H used to talk about playing a game without having to kill everything. Like I like choices like that. If I go guns blazing, but every once in a while I have this thing where I don't want to get into like killing things. You know what I mean? So it's just
every game that's ever given me the option of like stealth or murder or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
This game's overworld looks a lot like
even if I end
Hyper
up
Light.
sneaking up behind them or something like that. Just I gotta kill them.
yeah, I know, Break. Like, my first inclination is to do that too, but every once in a while I'm like, I just don't want to kill anything. I wish. Oh wow, am I boring you, Eric?
Like,
No, I'm just tired.
Okay.
There's a goal you have to get to, and you've hit one too many random battles as it is. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just every once in a while I just.
All I want to do is get to the end and heal so I can save. God damn it, another fucking slime attacks me. For fuck's sake.
Right. Okay, anything else on this Break?
See, it's like Earthbound. It just wants to cut out the middleman entirely, though. It's like, hey, you don't want to fight? Then here.
Yeah. Freak Fight.
But the overworld kind of reminds me of Hyper Light Drifter in a way.
I guess, yeah, I could see that too. I don't know if I said this, but Freak5 says, I laughed my ass off when Beavis took off his pants and said, "Hey, how's it going?" to his penis. Yeah, it was pretty funny. We'll talk about it, Freak5. Trust me, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. All right, anything else on that break?
No, that's it.
All right, next story comes to us from RPGsite.net. Soul Hackers 2 to get high speed mode, dash function, additional demons, and more in a November patch. Atlas has announced that the free update will be coming, aimed at improving the tempo of the game. So there you go. Added a dash function for Ringo in the dungeons. Either normal or dash can be changed as desired. With the addition of the dash function, the effect of the summoner skill Assassin Step has been changed to, for a certain distance, the enemy will not notice you. So some decent additions there. I didn't get a chance to see the latest She-Hulk, Freak5. Please no spoilers
I like the
on that.
idea of the dash mode, because walking through some of those dungeons takes a bit, because your character isn't exactly the fastest.
Yeah, and there's some other adjustments too. Adjusted loading tips to speed up loading time. Adjusted dialogue selection at soul levels increase to reduce accidental.
Here's the thing: if you play the game on an Xbox Series X or a PS5, by default, the game gives you loading screens, but the load times for those loading screens are kind of long. But you can turn that off, and then it will just be mostly instant.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm guessing the improvement of the loading times is if you still want to see those loading screen tips,
Adjusted.
then the game won't force you to sit through a loading screen just to get to the next part of the game.
Yeah. Adjusted frequency of enemy appearance in dungeons. Adjustment to make it easier to inherit skills when combining demons, and other minor changes. And they added 4 new companions. So sounds like some pretty decent upgrades there.
But the improvement for loading times is probably mostly for the last gen versions, which are probably not running in the SSD cards.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like some decent additions there. All right, Eric, what do we got next?
We've got The Witch's House's MV, which is launching for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC in October 13th. So that's another idea for me. if you feel like giving me this, because it's probably cheaper. So
it's not coming to the current systems? It's only last gen?
Well, it's being made in RPG Maker MV, which is why it's called The Witch's House MV. Okay. So there's really no point in porting it to those versions, because they'll just play via backwards compatibility.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's sort of like Corpse Party, right? Looks sort of like that kind of style.
Yeah, it looks like a horror adventure game.
Yeah. Well, it looks cool. Not quite as scary
It'll support English, Japanese, Spanish, French, German, Brazilian, Portuguese, Korean, traditional Chinese, simplified Chinese, Russian, and Turkish text options. I'm sure more language options will be made available as time goes on, but those will be the initial offerings.
Yeah. Looks creepy as hell. Does look creepy. So I just watched the trailer. I haven't seen the trailer. So October 31st for this. So
it's only $15.
Oh no, 13th. $15? That's not bad. Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
these games are usually around the $5 to $15 range. So this
Yeah.
is probably one of the more expensive ones.
Yeah, and it looks like it might be worth it. It has a little bit of potential, you know. All right, Breakman, next story, please.
Coming to us live from Gomatsu. Trinity Trigger. Sorry.
I think they got the developer and the publisher's names switched for some reason. Because I'm pretty sure Dangan's a publisher, not a developer. And Fumi sounds more like a developer name.
All right, Eric.
Publisher Xseeds Games has announced a Day 1 edition for Trinity Trigger, which will be available at participating retailers in North America at launch. Trinity Trigger will be available digitally for $49.99 for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and Switch. And the physical Day 1 edition will be $59.99, so you pay $10 more. However, with the Day 1 edition, you also get a 5.5 25 by 7.25 inch softcover art book containing over 100 pages of art. Well, that's not too bad. Artwork from artist Yuki Nobuturu and Raita Kazama, and a 2-disc soundtrack featuring the game scored by composer Hiroki Kikuta. All packaged with the game in a custom box. So for $10 more, you get a soundtrack.
That's not bad. That's a good bonus.
Yeah, but is it a real soundtrack or is it like a sampler disc?
Well, it's 2 discs.
Well, it's 2 discs, so I don't know if it's
maybe. I'm guessing if it's the entire soundtrack, it's a game whose soundtrack isn't very big in the first
Anybody
place.
know what type of RPG this is? Is this a traditional or action?
I told you last week that it plays like Secret of Mana of sorts.
Okay. All right.
Emphasis on fast-paced, customizable combat.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. All right. Anything else on that break?
Okay. If you get a chance, buy the physical copy because you get music with it.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they give you like a digital copy? Like if I wanted to buy a digital, why wouldn't they include like the digital artwork and like the music digitally?
I'm sure there's gonna be a digital deluxe bundle thing eventually.
Yeah. They should do that. Cause I'm getting away from buying physical copies of shit. I don't want it anymore. Period.
I agree.
I'm leery of buying this game on the Switch though, cause performance problems.
Yeah.
And it's like making a game for the Switch is kind of a tricky proposition.
Just get it for the PS5, Eric. I mean, problem solved.
It's like your prescription right now.
Yeah. All right. That was you, Break. Okay, so the last story goes to me from Gamatsu. Loop 8, Summer of God, Celestial Edition announced for North America. So Xseed announced just what I said. Anything else on this? $49.99 for all the systems, including PC. Celestial Edition for the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch for $69.99. It includes a softcover town guide containing over 50 pages of artwork, a musical selection CD with select songs from the soundtrack, a mini wall scroll, and an authentic Japanese wood ima as an offering for the in-game Ashihara Shrine, all packaged with the game in a custom box. So you get half of the artwork and you get half of the songs, but you get a little wall scroll and what was the other little thing here?
See, I can justify paying $70 for this because it comes with a lot of stuff and it's in a big box.
Yeah, I mean this is cool too. I mean, what kind of game is this, Eric?
This is a adventure visual novel game.
Okay, all right, sounds good. It's kind of cool. I like the little wall scrolls and shit like that. I think those are fun, but whatever. All right, that's the news, everybody. We got through that fairly quickly.
I think it's more of a combination between adventure game and maybe with light RPG elements.
All right. Anybody have any discounts of note?
No, but I'm sure Namco games are on sale somewhere.
They always
We talked
are.
about this game before, too.
So. Freak Pie says he watched Little Nicky a couple nights ago. Not terrible movie, I don't think.
It was okay. There was only one really funny joke in it.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't the best, but I didn't think it was terrible like everybody said, but whatever.
I agree with you. It was kind of meh, but no, I enjoyed it for what
it was. The last half decent Adam Sandler movie before he went on a series of lots of.
I like
movies.
Eric. No. There was one Netflix movie that he did that I quite liked, and it was called Hubie Halloween.
Yeah. You didn't let me finish. I said for a series of years.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That is true.
I actually liked the Hubie Halloween too.
Yeah, not very many people liked it, but I thought it was good. I think we both commented on that before.
That was around the same time he did Precious Gems or something. Yeah. It was called.
Yeah.
Well, his problem was he wanted to. It became obvious like he was trying to win an award, so he went on all these shows that were or movies that were different from what
He should have won for
Big Daddy.
yeah, he should have won for Uncut Gems. That was a great movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Of.
Yeah.
Gems.
Uncut Gems.
I still want to watch that movie.
It's
Is there
good.
anywhere I can stream it?
There are, and I don't know where. I think maybe Amazon Prime, but it's good. I really like that movie. It's definitely a departure, but good stuff. Breakman, do we have anything for you? Oh, look at this! All right, Breakman, dear Breakman, what do we got?
Okay, I lied. There isn't actually a Dear Breakman, but I do have a special surprise.
Okay, then let's hear it.
I have a top 10 list.
Ooh, okay.
Top 10 reasons Breath of the Wild is the greatest game of all time.
Ooh, okay. Let's hear
Number
it.
10. Most of the game can be optional. After finishing the beginning, the plateau level, you can go skip right to the final boss.
Wait, is this your list or is this a list you found?
He found
No,
it.
this is my list.
Oh, okay.
This is the Dear Breakman list. This is better than any other list that you've seen.
Hmm.
This is a more accurate list. So, so you can skip the story if you want, just go right to the end, which is, I like that. There's other games that have done it before, but yeah, it's always a cool thing when it's put in games. Number 9, Link can get his own home, and he can display weapons and shields on the walls and stuff. That's kind of cool.
All right.
It's his own place.
Like
Link's never had his own place before.
A little bit like Animal Crossing. He decorated the way that you want it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Number 8, shield surfing. It's badass, and I do it every single chance I get.
Like a down a hill or something? Like what?
Yes, shield surfing down hills, down in the snow is probably the best when you can go surfing in the snow. But just down grass hills or the side of a mountain or something like that.
All right, I like it.
Yeah, I do too. Number 7, Link can go nearly anywhere and climb almost anything. Like it's like the what are those games, Assassin's Creed games and such like that. So,
Breakman.
Like previous Zelda games where you have to walk around to go around the hill and stuff like that, you can just go fucking climb over the hill,
Yeah, Breakman. Like we talked about this years ago, about like we only could imagine it, right? A game where if you saw something, you could get there, right? I mean, we had lots of games where we could just imagine what was on the other side of that mountain or at the top of that mountain or whatever. And games like Breath of the Wild really brought that to the forefront. I mean, there were others like Skyrim. You can go almost anywhere in that game, right? You see it, you go to it, and that's fun. So yeah, good point. Great point.
Nice, thank you. Next, let me see what number was that. What was number 7? Number 6, Link and how he's affected by the environment. And, for instance, he goes in the snow and cold, he's freezing, and, he needs to put on a coat or eat something spicy. Or he goes into the desert, he's burning up, and, he's dealing with sweat. He can get sunburn, for instance.
Oh, wow.
That's fucking cool. Like, just the little touches like
that. That's a nice little detail, yes.
Yeah. Number 5, Link can start fires.
Oh, good point. Well, but can you prevent the sunburn in that game? Like,
yeah, you don't if you wear clothes and stuff, but take your
cold
off.
food.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
It's basically if you go shirtless to the desert, you can get sunburn. Anyway, so let me see. That was number 5. Number 5 to start fires. Number 4, Link can ride a variety of things, including deer, bears, and skeleton horses, which is my personal favorite. Even though the biased, discriminatory people at the stupid inns won't let you save any of those animals. They won't let you name a bear because they discriminate against bears and skeleton horses because they're assholes. Number 3 was the island of Naked and Afraid. I had a lot of fun on that island. I think I was on that for like a few weeks maybe because my accidents where I had screwed up and had to start over. But it was basically you come to this one island. It puts all your skills to use. It strips you of everything and says you basically start over to get off of this island.
That's actually supposed to be the Colon Island from Link's Awakening. I mean, it's not exactly, but it's basically the same idea. You're stuck there.
Mm.
I like that. I thought it was pretty cool. Number 2, the final dungeon. Hyrule Castle is a massive and explorable. You can use all the abilities you've learned along the way, like the ice. If you want to build if you want to climb up a waterfall, or you can swim up a waterfall. If you want to sneak around the castle, going in and out of like the lower levels and exploring dungeons, you can do that. Or if you just want to go fucking straight to Ganon, you can do that too.
Yeah.
Go right for the fight. It had it straight on. Me personally, I had to go through every inch of the castle because I made the mistake of turning my radar to look for treasure chests.
And there was tons of treasure in there, huh?
Yeah, and so it's like I'll be walking. Oh, treasure. Okay. What? Oh, what? Treasure. Now I'm gonna go up to that treasure. Ooh, there's treasure. Treasure. Damn you, treasure. And the number one reason Breath of the Wild is the greatest game of all time, you can kill squirrels.
Oh God, that's a great reason. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Fuck
and
yes.
You get something for killing them too. You get a little nut for killing them.
That's awesome. I think I'm gonna play that next after I play what I played. So there you go. That's awesome. Great list there, Break Man. I think we can look forward to more of these lists, right? Or things like this. If nobody says anything into Break Man, that of course, you know.
I never finished.
So, are you proclaiming, Break Man, here and now, that you think Breath of the Wild is the greatest game ever made?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I beat it over the last week.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool.
I had a lot of fun. Just you can go back into the game after you beat it and just go back to what you were doing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have the DLC, and maybe I'll get it someday, but right now.
Freak5 says, I really like 51st dates. Yeah, okay.
Apparently, there's going to be a new VHS movie.
Yes, and it's supposedly, I think it's coming out on Shudder. You guys, if you guys are horror fans, Shudder is fucking awesome. It's only $5 a month.
Isn't that the American adaptation of Wreck?
Or
is this something else?
That's something else. That's you're thinking of Quarantine, Eric. Yeah, no, which is inferior to Wreck. Wreck is awesome, man. Okay, let's move on to. That was great, Breakman. Thank you for doing that. That was really.
Yeah,
really
was
cool.
there ever Wreck 3?
Yes, and it sucked. I didn't like it, but Wreck 4 rectified it. Wreck 4 is awesome. So I can't
just skip 3 and just go straight to 4.
I can't. Yeah, skip 3 unless you want to watch it as a separate thing. It's good on its own, but it's definitely not a Wreck movie. But just go to 4. 4 is great. 4 is really good. So, and watch. Yeah, obviously their Spanish.
Can you
versions.
rent Wreck on Voodoo?
You cannot, man. You can. I think you can.
Because I'm gonna have to sail the torrents.
Yeah. Look for it on Voodoo first, Eric. But I'm pretty sure it's like Wreck. I mean, Bernie and I have been looking for
Maybe
Wreck.
a few of them are on there, but not all of them.
We've been looking for Wreck 4, to buy, and we can't find it anywhere. So if you find it, let me know. Because I'm interested.
A lot of these, when it comes to places like Voodoo, they tend to not have a lot of foreign films unless it's Japanese or Korean or something.
Yeah. Wyland says 3 is mentioned in 4. Really? I don't even remember it, Wyland. That movie's forgettable to me. Just got home. My daughter's room smells like weed. Uh-oh, Freak 5.
I never watched the original Wreck. I only watched 2 because we did it on movie night.
You're going to have the talk, Freak 5.
Then.
What's that, Break? I'm sorry.
Guess we know his stinko then.
His stinko's probably the talk.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Wait till you're of age before you start that shit. So, yeah.
Nobody's doing anything in here. Yeah, we can smell it. Just saying.
Yeah.
Knowing Freaky's gonna confiscate it all just so he can do
it. I'd have the talk.
He could probably tell the quality just by smelling it.
I know.
God damn it!
This is dirtweed. Don't you?
Better than this, girl.
Don't you ever bring dirtweed into this house again? Yeah. Don't you ever bring this dirtweed shit in here again, girl.
I thought we would have found a good buyer.
Wyland says you can only buy Rec 4 in the 4 movie set in the U.S. If you want it separate, you need to find a specific Blu-ray version overseas. Yeah, see, I know, Wyland, why is that? I just want a fucking digital copy, man. That's it. That's what I want, digital copy. Ugh. Okay, let's move on, guys.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Freak 5 says, you need to share it, damn it. Don't you smoke that shit in here without my permission and share it. Anyways, what have you been playing, Break?
Well, Breath of the Wild, as I said, I beat it.
Yep.
I think it's a 20 out of 10. Perfect.
Yeah. It's a good game, no doubt.
I mean, every game has their problems. Like this one, obviously, every time I want to climb a wall, it decides it wants to rain for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know how it knows I want to climb a fucking wall, but every time, here comes rain.
Yeah.
But it's still fantastic. Wreckfest, I've got a bit far from that one.
That's awesome.
I've gotten to where the challenges are really fucking long, where you gotta go through like 8 different races at a time and shit.
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
damn it.
Yeah.
Why'd they make it so time consuming?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of irritating.
Yeah.
It's still a fun game though. Like I love causing the wreck.
Burnout was the game for me back in the day, Break. Like I wish they would come out with
It's
a new.
not just Burnout, but it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of fun. Because there's some tracks that are designed to specifically to cause a lot of accidents,
Yeah.
and those are what's fun.
You know what's funny, Breakman? Like the Burnout was so fun because obviously you were trying to do as much damage as possible, but they would do these like slow like you know what I mean, like slow replays of all the havoc that you caused just in one wreck.
Yes.
Pretty awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. I could play that for like hours, man, and there was no point to it. You wouldn't like unlock anything or really anything, but that was my favorite mode, man. I would just do that all the time.
Destroying stuff, I loved it. Yeah, let's just pass around with your friends and see who get the highest score.
Yeah. You know, Wyland, you know what's funny, Wyland? Like how did I even watch that movie, Rec 4? Because I can't find it anywhere. And how did I see it on streaming? Did I see it? How did I see that movie? Because you couldn't buy it, you couldn't rent it. I mean, how did I see that movie when it came out? Like I don't know. I just can't remember how I watched it. How dare you, Breakman? Son of a bitch. How dare you? Crash Mode was great. Freak 5 says, yeah. What else have you been playing, Break?
I started a new game, and I haven't got that far into it, so I can't rate it yet on the scary meter, but I started Alien Isolation.
Oh, wait till you haven't even run into the alien yet, have you?
Not yet, no.
Oh, okay.
So I'm definitely not seeing any of the
You know,
scary parts.
look, you know what's good about that game, Breakman, is the AI system is fantastic. Like there's always 2 aliens, right? One always knows where you are at all times, and the other one doesn't know where you are at all times, and the way that the AI kind of sort of cancels itself out, but is smart enough to know kind of like, you know, how to. Oh man, you wait, you're gonna love it, dude. It's fun, and scary. To me, it's one of the scariest games, if not the scariest game.
That's just the alien has a nose and it's sniffing at.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's doing. That's a good analogy, Eric, for sure. All right, anything else you've been playing, Break?
Man, you know what? I don't think she'd even had time to shower, so she probably smells too. Like that's got tracked. I'm like, fuck.
Wyan says he's been playing Vampire Savior. Unless you count the arcade games, I played at an awesome arcade that was at the mall where I saw Terrifier 2. Yeah, that counts.
An arcade at the mall?
I know, that's unheard of. Where is this thing?
Exists?
What is this arcade game you speak of, Wyland?
What's this mall you speak of?
Yeah, what is this mall you speak of, Wyland? Also, almost fell out of the F-Zero GX cab. What the fuck, dude? Damn. Okay, that's awesome.
Drinking
sort of.
and driving? Goddamn.
Yeah, too much drinking, dude.
Drinking and fake driving.
Drinking and fake driving. He's gonna get a DUI for playing fucking F-Zero.
Captain Falcon's gonna pull you over.
F-Zero AX, yeah.
He's gonna pounce you.
Yeah. Sir, step out of the cab there. We need to arrest you for DUI.
Whoa, sir. Whoa. Can you walk down? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think you can walk a straight line. Sir.
Oh, he wasn't using the seatbelt.
There's a seatbelt on that thing?
Yes, there is. He wasn't using it.
I've never
He didn't
seen
think he'd
the
need
AX
it.
cabinet, so I wouldn't know.
He said he didn't think I'd need it. Learned your lesson, didn't you, Wyland? I wish I would have been there. I would have called the cops on you. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, that cabinet can buck you.
That's funny. Hey, Break, anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, Eric, what have you been playing?
I've been playing just a bit more of Trails from Zero. I finished it. I wanted to do a review today, but I didn't have time. So maybe tomorrow.
That's cool that you finished it, though. That's pretty awesome.
I didn't start New Game Plus because I just wanted to play some other stuff.
Wyland says you know when you hit a wall.
Anyways, hey Frank, do you know what I think what happened?
What?
To Out of the Chute, it became a sequel. it became F-Zero GX.
Wyland was actually playing.
Sorry.
Wyland was playing Out of the Chute 2 cab version. He got bucked out of that thing. That's funny as fuck, man. Out of the Chute. I haven't heard Out of the Chute in a long time, man. That's funny. All right, Eric. Anything else you've been playing?
What was the motorcycle one where you're like on a motorcycle and it went back and forth?
Moto. What is it? MotoGP.
MotoGP.
MotoGP, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I added that to the conversation.
Don't know, but that's so funny. Out of the Chute, Eric.
Anyways, I guess with that we're gonna do movie reviews and stuff.
Well, I got to do what I've been playing first, Eric.
Oh yeah.
All right, this is interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I almost thought you had already done yours already.
No. I always go last, Eric. Interestingly enough, I've been playing Titanfall 2, which is a game I would not normally be playing. And there's a reason why I played it, and I'll tell you about that later. So let's move on, as Eric alluded to
RPGrinders reviews.
Breakman, do you have any reviews?
I believe I already made my review. That's it.
Breath of the Wild, 20 out of 10. Okay, we got it. All right, Eric.
I didn't know they could link up 8 Daytona cabinets together for 8-player play.
Oh, like for Daytona? Yeah. That's fun.
I got reviews for Marvel's What If,
which
I got last week while I was doing all my other Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
And The Mandalorian Season 1 and 2 and the Book of Boba Fett.
Okay, let's rapid fire.
Which may or may not have a second season, but who knows?
All those?
Yeah.
Daytona! Yep. All right.
But Marvel What If, a lot of interesting stories. My favorite was probably the party episode.
Yeah.
With
Thor.
Total jackass.
That was a great one, man. I like that a lot.
That one is a dark episode. Like that, and the let me see, that one, the Black Panther episode, and I think the episode of Doctor Strange were good ones.
You know that Chadwick Boseman won? I think it was either an Emmy.
You mean the T'Challa as Star-Lord, not Black Panther?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Star-Lord. Yeah.
Star-Lord. Yeah. Chadwick Boseman posthumously won. I think it was an Emmy for that performance in What If. So that's pretty cool. I thought that was really nice homage.
I like how the last 3 episodes were interconnected with each other, and then those episodes being interconnected with all the other ones, because the characters from those episodes end up starring in the final episode for the season.
I hope they do more of that because it's really good. I mean,
so for season 2, are they going to do new stories, or are they going to do slight continuations of the previous stories?
I'm pretty sure they're going to do new, because if anybody remembers the What If comics, they were kind of one-offs, right? Like it would just be like little one-off stories, and I thought they were.
I think that they're going to definitely continue the zombie story.
Oh, of course, because that's like a big moneymaker. I wouldn't doubt that they do a whole season of zombies.
Or they could do werewolf series, because there was a Marvel werewolf comic that ran.
Yeah.
Already doing Werewolf by Night.
Yep.
Yeah, but isn't Werewolf by Night just like a live action?
Yep. Yeah. They could do a cartoon of it too. That would be cool. But we'll see. All right, what are you giving What If, Eric?
I'm gonna give it a 9.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking good. I
Wow.
I liked
Way
it.
higher than I rated it because I there were some episodes that I was just like I was yelling at the TV like at the zombie episode like what the this are you people fucking stupid? You're supposed to be superheroes. What the fuck? Oh god, you guys.
It's just a what if.
But it's a
what
it's
if.
a zombie episode. They have to be stupid. It's the
Yeah,
law.
that's true. I mean, if they were smart, even one superhero would wipe out all of the zombies. You know what I mean? Like that's just
Well, it wasn't just that they weren't smart. They did things that were actively stupid.
stupid.
Like
Yeah.
like turning into Giant Woman and then not turning back before she turned into a zombie. For
Right.
instance.
Right.
or Winter Soldier thinking he could take on Scarlet Witch.
Oh
Yeah.
God, that to me was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
I think he just wanted to die at that point.
You know what? That's a good point, Eric. That's a good point.
Like,
I
if
might
she doesn't turn me into a zombie, at least she might kill me.
$15 all day pass. That would be worth it, Wyland, in my view. Arcade for $15 all day. Get there when it opens and close that sucker down, man. You know, that'd be cool. All right, what else you got, Eric?
The Mandalorian Season 1 and 2. I already kind of did an impression on Season 1, so we're going to talk more about Season 2.
Okay.
Most fan servicey show ever.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna say CG characters creep me out. CGDA versions of characters. And I'm pretty sure that Hamill wasn't actually talking and they had somebody dub over him because it sounded way too young. But I couldn't pin my finger on
him. He does. You can use like different microphones and stuff too.
Yeah.
Like the.
I mean, maybe
He does
it's
other
still
characters too.
it still sounded weird because it was definitely distorted somehow. It just fell off.
They might have tried to overlay it with the actor's voice maybe or something like that effect. Huh. I have to look into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Grogu kept eating frogs in season 2.
I love it. I love it. I love it, man. Grogu is one. Can I ask you guys this? Is Grogu one of the most endearing characters in any series you guys have seen in a long while? Grogu himself.
For instance, when when what's her name and the Mandalorian were fighting, and he just comes out there holding his bowl of soup, just cutely eating it and watching. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that Muppet's fucking adorable. This is like Yoda all over again.
Yeah, but Yoda, but even better than Yoda because he doesn't.
Right. Yoda wasn't like cute and cuddly.
Yeah, Yoda was like grouchy. You know, like he was endearing, but in a different way. You know, like this is much better and much more kid friendly.
He's fucking adorable.
Yeah.
And you know, based on what we learned in the season, Grogu might actually be a clone.
Yeah. See, I said that a long time ago. How dare you, Freak 5? Freak 5 says, I watched League of Super Pets last weekend. It was great. Yoda was like, Frank, how dare you, Freak 5? You're exiled.
The special effects for the Darksaber, they felt kind of cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks cool, but at the same time, it looks not so great.
Exiled twice, Freak 5.
Like, depending on the angle, the way you're looking at it, it looks cheap or it doesn't.
You know, I thought about that too, Eric, but I come to the conclusion that it's okay. You know, it's fine.
Yeah, that's one of those minor gripes. Like people who are really upset about Ahsoka's what do you call them, not being as long as they were in the cartoon.
Yeah, whatever.
Her sabers.
They have to be practical because you want her to be like Ahsoka in the cartoon. She's gonna have to be athletic and be able to do that stuff and. Those big fucking whatever they're called, or kind of things.
Wyland says it looks like it does in Clone Wars. I agree.
And going back to season 1, one of my favorite episodes from that season was the episode that was basically Endor but without the Ewoks.
This is the problem with fans, right? If something is slightly different, they have a conniption fit. You know, it's like you can't always. I mean, they're doing. Yeah.
It looks like it does in the Clone Wars, and that's why is because fans of the Clone Wars wanted to look like that. Like they like you should just see the fan reaction to not only her, what they did with her neck. I can't forget what's fucking called, but the fact that Cad Bane wasn't blue enough.
Oh, get
and
out of
shit.
here! He was fine.
Also, Cad Bane reminded me of
Like,
Chakan. I was like,
Cad
oh my
Bane.
god, he's Chakan, but uglier.
Cad Bane was badass.
It kind of does look like that, doesn't he?
I like Cad Bane. Cad Bane was badass.
Yeah, Cad Bane was one of my favorite Clone Wars characters. But yeah, in Johnny Blue Faces, Cad Bane was fine, exactly.
Yeah.
But the people online, like, you would think they murdered Grogu or
I
something.
know.
The way they
I know.
about the color of his skin.
Freak 5 is exiled the third time in a row. How dare you, son of a bitch.
Frank told Yoda to get off his lawn.
Well, like, Freak 5's on a roll. He's on a jelly roll.
But like, but
Yeah,
I'm
but
thinking.
he's also older, and that's what my thought was too. Like, they wanted to make him look older. He's not going to look like young and bright blue like he was, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is I mean,
It's been like what, like 40 years.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what are you giving Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2, Eric?
I'm gonna give them a 9 and a 9.5 for each.
Ooh,
for each
pretty
season.
good, pretty good. I think Break and I agreed with that and gave similar scores, Eric.
Can't
So
people be happy with what we get instead of mad about not being exactly the way they want it?
you know, they're never gonna fucking be happy, man. It's like the Marvel stands, man. Like you know, there was a big conniption fit that Wolverine didn't have his yellow costume when X-Men came out. You know, it's like, fuck off with that nonsense. You know, it's not. That costume was not practical. And can you imagine Hugh Jackman in that fucking thing? I mean, come on.
You're going to be able to, because apparently they've mandated it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
But that leads me into
Fuck outta
the Book
here.
of Boba Fett, which it's a goofy show. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in the first half.
Yeah.
And it just feels like, yeah, this is Boba Fett, because Boba Fett's always been this bubbling fool who's managed to succeed
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
You know, I liked.
Just more of a lone kind of asshole.
No, well, that, and also, isn't Boba Fett super random? Like, he would take random jobs, right? So to me, like,
He would take jobs that most people wouldn't do because he wasn't afraid to
Right.
kill like a lot of people.
Right.
But he wasn't afraid of using like hard weapons like his what do they call those bombs he used? They has in Slave One. Sonar bombs. What was this?
Yeah.
I can't
No,
remember what they're called, but
I know what you're saying, Break, but to me, like Eric hit on a point there. He was kind of bumbling, right? I mean, he was
he was knocked into a sarlacc
Right.
by a blind guy with a stick, essentially. So,
right,
yeah.
right. So I mean, I thought they did a good job with that series, and you know, people were kind of bitching about that online too. I mean, why? I mean, Boba Fett would never have done that. Yes,
And
he would
kinda
have.
like the Power Rangers color coordinated entourage that he had.
Yeah. No, I thought they did a really.
Boba Fett too as the show comes into another season, because I think we'll get another season, and I think you're going to see him taking on more of the role of the crime boss. You know.
Yeah, and that's fine. I don't mind that, but like.
Yeah, but the show kind of suggested that maybe he's getting out of the crime boss business.
Yeah, maybe, but still, it's like I like the way that they handled Boba Fett a lot, actually. But I think.
The problem with Boba Fett's the best episodes were the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Well, that's true too. I mean,
that was like 2.5 episodes worth of stuff.
yeah. So, what are you giving Boba Fett, Eric?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, what did you give it, Break?
They love the excess with Boba Fett. I mean, the whole Rancor, like it was kind of badass and funny at the same time. And
Yeah.
Just him riding a Rancor, it was so absurd, but you know, it's a Star Wars. Okay.
Yeah.
At least they were consistent with the lore of the Rancor, where how they apparently are really loving creatures and they don't get bitchy unless you threaten them.
Yeah.
And because if you see in Return of the Jedi, that guy who was supposed to be his caretaker is crying the fuck out because He was probably the one that rank are imprinted on.
Yeah. I like how they handled that series. Actually, I thought it was different, and they handled Boba Fett as good as you could, and the actor that plays him is really, really good. By the way, we don't give enough credit to him, and also the guy that plays the Mandalorian. He's really good too. Pascal.
Pascal.
Yeah, what's that new show he's doing? The Last of Us. That's right.
Yeah, and he's really good, and I'm looking forward to The Last of Us for sure. So.
But yeah, and John Lupe does point out they use the Ranker lore in Bad Batch, and yeah, there's the baby Ranker, which is going to turn out to be
big. How quickly do they grow, though?
Yeah. That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't know how big.
I'm sure there's like so much Ranker lore that it would blow our minds. But I don't like getting deep into lore because then it just becomes this rabbit hole of goodness that I just can't take. It's just
like in the original trilogy, like we were really meant to believe like the Ranker is probably like the nastiest creature out there. But since then, there've been so many more nastier creatures than the Ranker in Star Wars.
Yeah.
They've kind of retconned the Ranker back to be more of like a pet dog than a monster.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not saying they don't make him monstrous. I'm just saying like he's more
right.
I always good than evil.
Right. Right. Yeah. All right. Very good reviews, Eric. I'm gonna do some reviews now. I'll do them rapid fire, and I'm gonna tell you nothing is getting less than a 9. In this list. I'm going to start with Beavis and Butthead. I know the season isn't over yet. It's kind of close to being over. I want them to do like every week, just every week. Just do like South Park and just do them all the time, Mike Judge, because I know
even if they're only 10 minutes, you mean?
Even if they're only 5 minutes, I would love it because they could make fun of a TikTok video or a YouTube video or whatever, because it's gold. It's absolute gold. This last episode, Bernie and I were laughing our fucking ass. You know what we were laughing at? They were making fun of this guy that was out in the wilderness, and he's like, what did he say? It was something about, backyard. Like he was like out backyard instead of outback, and it was like one of the funniest fucking things, man.
Kicked out by his wife. That's right.
Yeah, got kicked out by his wife into his out backyard. It was just like super funny, like just witty and funny, and there was nothing bad about anything. This whole season has just been. I think Mike Judge has taken it up another notch from the 1990s series because it is, some of the funniest shit you'll ever see. Period. I give so far. Unless they tank the last couple of episodes or so, which I don't see happening, it's gonna get a 10 out of 10 because it's taken the funny fact. You know how like some episodes in the past seasons. You'd be like, that was just okay. Not once.
Happen again sometime, but for now,
not once this year have I been like, this isn't very good, or that one wasn't very good. Not one time. Every single time, I have a good laugh, and that's something super rare in any comedy series. Period. So. It's like listening to an album front to back. How many times have you been able to do that lately? Breakman, like Metallica, like the first 3-4 albums I could listen to front and back, no problem. Guns N' Roses, Welcome to that Welcome to the Jungle album, Appetite for Destruction is what I'm thinking of. Front to back, I could listen to that album. There's certain albums like that, but kind of rare. And this is like one of those times where they've just hit it out of the park. Mike Judge has hit it out of the park with Beavis and Butthead. It's a 10 out of 10, easy for me. Okay, Cyberpunk 2077 anime. We talked a little bit about Cyberpunk earlier and some of the stuff going on with CD Projekt Red. This is something they hit out of the park. This is a very good season of anime, and from what Eric is telling me and from all accounts that I've seen, this is a one-off. It really shouldn't be a one-off. This is really good stuff. There are minor gripes that I have with this Cyberpunk series, like there's it's just super minor stuff. Some of the translation isn't quite good. Like you'll see, like there's
they use when it comes to the English subtitles caption script. They're using different script than the actual words that are being said in the audio.
Yeah, but you can kind of tell it's like they did little idioms that they couldn't quite get right, but you understood what they were saying. So it's really a minor gripe. The animation.
I'm annoyed by that when it's different from what they say. Like that's not what they said.
No. But it's not distractive like that, Breakman. Like you know what they're saying. Like we have sayings in English that they wouldn't necessarily catch in a translation. You know what I mean? Like it would be more like I'm trying to think of one of them that happened in there that I was like.
Well, CD Projekt Red wrote the story.
No, like this, like you like.
So I wonder if they're like Polish idioms that just don't work well.
Yeah, like idioms, like it'd be like killing two birds with one stone. They would the words would be transposed or something, and it would be like kind of weird that the way that they said it, but you would understand it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about here. So it's a super minor gripe. It's a hell of a ride while it lasts. I mean, you kind of know where it's going right from the beginning, but it's pretty good. I mean, they do a pretty good job of giving you a story beginning, middle, and end. And it just ends, and you have to hope that they find another story in that universe that they can go back to, but it's just really good. So I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. You guys still there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if you guys were there. I saw something here.
You put the list for us.
Oh, what's that?
You put the list for the tournament.
I got it. Yeah, I still have it, I think. Let's see. I want to go to Terrifier 2, which I saw last night. No spoilers. If you guys saw Terrifier 1, my thoughts on Terrifier 1, it to me it seemed like more of a proof of concept movie than an actual like full movie, but still pretty good. I like the character art, the clown. At the time I said I think he has potential to be like one of the new horror icons, and this movie definitely solidified that for me. There's a lot going on in this movie that I'm not going to spoil, but just prepare for more gore, more crazy kills, more character development, which I felt was sorely lacking in the first. It's a great sequel. I'm also giving it a 9 out of 10. I think it's as good as it gets for a horror sequel. It doesn't get much better. If you like just nastiness in your movies, like when it comes to kills and it's got a lot going for it. So Terrifier 2 it should be high on your lists. For movies to watch this Halloween season. Speaking of great sequels, or whatever you want to call this, Hellraiser 2022. I'm not going to do any spoilers for this. All I'm going to say is Hellraiser is back, baby, and it does not have Doug Bradley as Pinhead, which at first you would think is a detriment. But the new Pinhead is fantastic. It's a woman. They gave her this. They did something with her voice to give it more of a manly kind of growling, and she plays it differently than Doug Bradley did. Doug Bradley had an edge to him, like he would, like you could tell he was kind of demonic, and he relished in the pain and anguish that went on with people. There's all of that here.
Actual kick out of it.
Yeah, he got a kick out of it. But this woman plays it a little differently, and she's fantastic. She's more unnerving, in my opinion. When she speaks more of a not a monotone way, but like more straightforward. Like I'm here for business, and it's scarier to me. And this movie is not scary in the traditional sense. There's not a lot of jump scares or anything like that. It's more unnerving than anything. And Buckner did a hell of a job with this sequel. It is great. I'm giving this movie also a 9 out of 10. Now, I felt there could have been a little more sense of urgency. I didn't like kind of the main character. She was, I mean, I don't know if it was intentional, but I mean, she just didn't have a lot of redeeming qualities to her, even though she was kind of the I'm sorry, go ahead, Break.
So you were rooting for Pinhead then?
You were kind of rooting for Pinhead all the way around, you know, and I just think they did a fantastic job with this movie, and it gets Hellraiser back to where it should be in the pantheon of great horror movies. So that's something else that you guys should put on your list to watch this season. So Wyland says, I want figures of all the Cenobites. They made a figure of the CD one too. You mean the CD one from part 3? So I liked part 3.
The guy are a couple of my favorites.
I liked part 3, but I didn't like the Cenobites in part 3. I thought that CD one was ridiculous. But
it's a couple of my favorites in that one.
really, I hated that one.
The camera one?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I thought that was really... I like the Chatterer, which the Chatterer returned... The Cenobites in this one were different, too. That's something else to talk about. It was more... Instead of the leather sadomasochist look, they had more of a skin, fleshy look to them that made them, in my view, a little more unnerving and creepier. So... all the way around, they did a great job with this movie, and it's basically a reboot, and it's great. All right, let's move on to everybody's favorite segment.
What is it?
Stinko of the week.
Breakman, your Stinko of the week.
I have a couple, and they're both related to the Ohio Republican Party. I can't find one statistic. I saw it last week, and I forgot to talk about it in last week's episode, and I retweeted it. But now we have Ohio has 4 or 5 in the top 25 cities with the most gun violence in the country.
Wow.
Including Cincinnati, which is... I'm trying to find the list. My city is now ranked 11th in the country.
Wow. That's nothing
It's
to...
interesting how the gun violence has increased. And I say the blame the Republicans because as DeWine has taken control and lessened gun violence rules and gun laws, violence has gone up. Gun violence has gone up.
Yeah. I mean, it's a correlation that cannot be denied. It's I really don't understand it. Yeah. Yeah, it's undeniable at this point, right? Break. I mean, you know.
Maybe this is why they want military vets teaching in schools, because then they could teach them the army drills they need to survive gun assaults.
There's thoughts to that too, Eric. That's all right. What else you got, Break?
The Ohio Republican Party is now lobbying to introduce a law to give personhood to fetuses.
Oh boy.
Now, fetal tissue specifically.
Fetal tissue. Wow.
Yeah, that's why I said embryos. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty insane.
It's embryos. They're because they want to start at conception.
Yeah. Sorry
so
for
the clump of cells is now a person, according to that's what they want to make. Person.
Wow, I don't even know what to say to that. While Ohio's a weird country.
Well, I was talking to Mrs. Breakman about this earlier. Like the cities in the state, like the largest cities are all Democratic-led cities. I mean, and where are the cities where we're experiencing the most rise in gun violence? Obviously, because we have more people
Right.
in the cities. It's not just here where gun violence is rise; it's rise across the state. So I know they're gonna go like immediately. Well, it's happening in Democrat-controlled cities. It's happening in the whole fucking state. Okay. We're just getting more because there are more of us here.
Well, yeah, and that's something that they never take into account. You got more people. It's a pressure cooker in a city, right? So if you lax gun laws and you have all these guns concentrated in one place, I mean, it's bound to happen, right? I mean, it's not even close. So, you know, whatever. All right, is that all you got, Break?
Yeah, like I don't understand. Like they want to make it easier to kill people, but they want to give clump of cells. They
Yeah.
want to make them people.
I know. It's so weird. Freak 5 says, my Stinkle, my mother-in-law is getting scammed by yet another man. Supposedly is going to take her to Hawaii. Oh, boy.
But the point I was trying to make is that the cities like Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus, these are all like Democrat-led cities, and the voters in these cities heavily lean Democrat.
Yeah.
But yet the state has been gerrymandered so badly that the Republicans have complete control of the House and the governor office and the Supreme Court of Ohio.
That's crazy.
Even though Democrats technically outnumber them.
Well, it's the same here in Colorado, Break. I mean, we're more of a purple state.
Right. So we were, but Republicans have changed it.
Yeah. The gerrymandering has made it so that it is purple. But if you look at the numbers, this is why I hate the Electoral College, right? Because the Electoral College, it represents districts and not the amount of people. You know what I mean? I think it should be definitely majority, but what do I know? I mean, the people that love the electoral system love it for a reason, and this gerrymandering is out of control. Like, Colorado should really be a solid blue state. Not that I give a fuck, because I can't stand Democrats either, but right. Gerrymandering fucks everything up. Period.
Yeah, let me add that because of their actions, because they're going to try and make people or cells to people. I have to vote for Democrats. They're not giving me another fucking option.
Yeah, I know.
So fuck them for that too.
Yeah, see, I mean, I hate the two-party system.
Vote for Tim Ryan just to annoy all the anti-Tim Ryan ads.
Yeah, but I don't really like Tim Ryan that much either.
Yeah. Well, Breakman, do you have any more?
Yeah.
Do you have any more Stinkos?
Yep. No, our politicians just suck.
Well, let me do mine really quick before. I didn't see Eric had one at all, so I'll just do mine real quick.
I saw a Dave Joyce ad today.
It's mine kind of coincides with yours, Breakman. It's political gibberish. And you hear it in these fucking... This is why I hate election season.
You mean like word salad?
No, it's all word salad. It's nonsense on both sides. They both... nothing but attack ads instead of talking about actual policy. Somebody was talking... I think it was Fair and Balanced was talking about Lauren Boebert, how she's in a virtual tie with her opponent, which... I'm in Colorado, so I kind of know about Boebert. She's on the the western slope there, and I saw a bunch of ads for her, and I was like, she's a worthless, piece of garbage. And he was talking about how a lot of these politicians, but he didn't mention the Democrats, but there's a lot of Democrats that are like this too, that never come up with policy. They're there for clout. That's it. Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and now I can lump Ocasio-Cortez into that whole thing too. They're in it for clout. They never come up with their own policies. That's one thing about Bernie Sanders.
And they suck and they kiss ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the ones that say they're going to fight the establishment are the first ones to bend over and start sucking off the leaders.
Yep, absolutely, 100%.
Even Bernie does this, and Bernie still does at least some things, at least for his state.
Here's why I like Bernie Sanders, okay? I still like Bernie. I know he's kind of disappointed all of us lately, especially Eric and I. But the reason that I like Bernie Sanders is because he's sponsored or co-sponsored hundreds of bills that have come to pass in law. Or doesn't even put his name on bills because he doesn't want his independent status ruining it. Like he'll get Republicans and Democrats to agree on shit and get it done. You know what I mean? I mean, it doesn't go far enough because neither one wants to give either way, but at least he's co-sponsored or sponsored bills that have come to pass. So people like that are worth, I guess, voting for. But there's not very many at all. And I thought Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez had a chance to be like that, but she's no different. She's another Boebert.
She got assimilated into the machine.
She is.
I'm sick of the lies.
I am too. 100%. So political gibberish is my stinko this week
For
because
instance, I live so close to Kentucky, we get Rand Paul ads all the time.
oh god.
Rand Paul is now running ads where he's saying the federal government does nothing to help them for the disasters in eastern Kentucky. The ones that he voted against because he is part of the federal fucking government that he just talked about not helping.
Right.
But he's blaming the government for his own actions in his ad.
Rand Paul is a libertarian in name only. He is definitely a hardcore Republican, no doubt. And like an extremist too. Like I can't stand Rand Paul. I can't stand Rand Paul. I can't stand Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer's another fucking piece of shit.
Like I am sick of like every single Democratic ad, or Republican ad, Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden. Like they hook everybody to Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden. It's like I am fucking sick of hearing about Nancy Pelosi. It doesn't matter what branch of the party they're running for. They're like Nancy Pelosi. Wait a minute, he's running for like mayor of a city. Well, Nancy Pelosi.
I saw an ad for Michael Bennett, who's a senator here, I believe, and I can't remember which fucking district, but he ran an ad where he said in his ad, this is how middle of the road, almost Republican he is, right? Where he said, it said, Michael Bennett stood up to Joe Biden, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You're a Democrat and you're running. No, it blows my mind that Democrats have to be Republicans in order to get votes. You know,
doing the same thing here. What's his name? What's his name, Eric?
Which one?
The guy's running against Vance. Tim Ryan.
Yeah.
Tim Ryan. Yeah, another.
He's running ads where he's saying like, I work with the other party. I voted with Trump on something or other, like it was on the his trade war, and I'm like, you fucking idiot.
So that's what we want.
We over. You're bragging about voting with Trump on that.
I know
You're
exactly.
Like, talking about how Trump's evil, and you're bragging about voting with Trump.
Well, he should just run as a Republican then. Might as well.
Well, the other choice is J.D. Vance, who's essentially Lindsey Graham.
Ugh. Freak Vibes
he stands for absolutely nothing. He just does what he thinks will get votes.
They all suck. Freak Vibes says yesterday she asked my wife to buy him an iPhone 13 Pro Max and put him on our family plan. For some reason, he needs it to go to the bank and withdraw money. How the hell is he talking to her if he doesn't already have a phone? My wife told her, "Do I look like an idiot?" And to that, I say, she is no idiot, Freak 5. Good for her. Wyland says Terrifier 2 made $400,000 Thursday night. Actually made $403,000. I know that's not a big deal, Wyland, but big opening for that on a Thursday night for sure. I'm hoping it does really well. Okay, so that was my Stinko of the week. Eric, I didn't see that you had a Stinko, so let's move on to Sweetos.
Dude, what does my tattoo say?
Sweet! Sweeto of the week.
All right, Breakman, your Sweeto of the week. Let's talk about some positive stuff. Breakman, do we have you?
Wait.
Oh, okay. We still got him. He's okay, Eric, what is your Sweeto of the week?
I got your gift cards, thanks.
Yeah. That's cool. You ended up buying...
The first thing I bought was that Chaos Head Noah and the Chaos Child double pack. And while I hear that the translation for Chaos Head specifically isn't that great, I bought it mainly for having a Switch version of Chaos Child.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm probably looking into getting the PC version and getting patches to fix the translation, because there is a group that's doing that.
Oh, that's cool. It still looked cool when you showed me. It had a nice case and
the next thing I bought was Bayonetta 3, but that's not out until the end of the month.
Oh, cool.
Practically.
That's awesome. That's pretty awesome. All right, Break, are you back? All right, no Breakman just yet. I guess I'll start on my Sweetos of the week. Anything else, Eric? Sweeto of the week, or did I?
Not really.
I don't know where the bug went. I lost it.
Break is looking for bugs.
My studio goes to Frank giving me a gift card, which I used to buy a controller, which I needed.
Oh, controller for your Xbox?
For Xbox, yeah. I had some sticking buttons that weren't going too well.
Oh, well, there you go, man. That's a good use of.
Did you
your
try using a toothbrush first?
Well, he could still do that.
I mean, then I'd have 2 controllers that work. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Electric Volt.
Yeah.
I probably should get a new PlayStation 5 controller because they have slightly longer battery life now.
Okay. I'm gonna do my Sweetos here, and I'll talk a little bit about some stuff here. But the first Sweeto, I harvested my plants for the year, so I got them drying right now, and then I got a cure, and then I'll be good to go for the entire year for my weed that I need for my medicine. So I'm really excited. I got some great plants this year. Not as many as I did last year, but just one plant in particular was huge. So can't wait to start in on those plants and enjoy new weed. Every year I do new plants. So can't wait
Time
to try.
To play that Because I Got High song.
Yeah, I will next. As soon as I partake in any of it, I will definitely celebrate with the Because I Got High song. But the second is I bought. Remember, I told you guys I was going to buy an Xbox X, and I got it. And it took. Do I still have your address, Freak 5? I know why you're asking. And also, you said new season of Big Mouth on the 28th. Can't wait for that. That's
the Series X is like pretty easy to find now.
Wyland's Sweeto was going to the arcade. That's pretty cool.
Meanwhile, Sony still can't get PS5s in the stores.
I know, it's really weird.
The bug, damn it.
Well, it's hard to find an Xbox too unless you get it with accessories, which I had to. But in a way, it's okay because I got a.
Kind of wanted them.
Yeah, I kind of wanted it. I like an extra controller, and I got a charger and some like stuff to put over the buttons to make them a little bit better, and stuff like that.
You could always sell that shitty game that came with.
I didn't get a game with it.
Oh,
yeah.
Because usually the bundles do come with.
No, there was no game with it, which was slightly disappointing. But I got the controller, so that was more important to me, anyways. But I do have a beef. Like, I tried the wow, Wyland, you saw a Series X in the wild? That's really weird because I had a hard time finding it. I had to buy this bundle with all this extra shit. But I do have a beef. I tried to transfer all my Xbox One games over to the Xbox X, and it's not a pain to do, but I would have thought it would have been a lot faster. But it's not. It's not.
No, that's
I mean,
a lot of data. It's gonna take a while.
I know, but it took me like 3 fucking days, Eric, and it sucked. Like waiting for each of these games, and sometimes
This is why I just decided to re-download the ones I wanted to actually play.
Yeah, I know. See, I had to make that choice too because you only have a 1 terabyte drive, so I'm gonna have to buy another drive to download. And
those expansion drives are way too expensive. But
yeah,
I paid my $200 for a terabyte. It's fine.
I just delete stuff and re-download stuff.
Yeah, I know, but I don't. I look. I'm gonna get one expansion, but I'm gonna wait because I'm gonna do what you said, Break. Like right now, I'm playing Titanfall 2, and I said I would talk a little bit more about that. I specifically picked a game that was Xbox ready or Xbox X ready, so to speak, and I picked that game not because it was an Xbox X game, but because I wanted to see load times and all that shit, and it runs pretty good. The only gripe I have with the Xbox, I'm really disappointed they didn't change the controller. I guess I'm just spoiled with the PlayStation 5 controller because I think the PlayStation 5 controller is an all-time great controller. It just needs to be a little bit smaller, in my opinion. I think it's just a little bit too big. But Xbox.
I got a question. I don't know if either of you can answer this.
What's that?
When I'm watching a video on YouTube, the controller seems to have a time limit for when it will shut off, and I can't figure out how to disable that time limit for watching media specifically.
Oh, you mean for the Xbox?
Because I'll be watching something and then I want to pause it and then I have to turn the controller back on.
No, I don't think there's a way you can change that, Eric.
That is so stupid.
Yeah,
I honestly don't know because I don't watch stuff on the Xbox.
You think they would have made that available in a future update or something?
But I'm with Breakman. I have a Roku for a reason. I don't want to burden any of my systems. Like there's one thing I have on my PlayStation. I think it's like actually I have a couple of things. I think I have the Watchmen series and I have Cowboy Bebop. But other than that, I don't like to burden any of my systems with stuff. You know what I mean? I'd rather just use a Roku for all my peripherals and you know.
The thing is, the apps I liked using aren't available on like a smart TV out of the box. So.
Well, I mean that's why I have a Roku, you know, so I can add those. You know,
And I don't like the way that the Roku menu screen works. It seems a little slow.
For me, it's awesome. I mean, it's simple and it just right to the point. I get to where I need to go and I just go there. I don't know. To me, a Roku is the best thing. I mean, and my TV has built-in shit, but I like the way the Roku works. So I have a Roku, and that's just the way that it is. But I don't know. I like the Xbox X quite a bit. Like I said, Microsoft needs to work on their controller. It's a great controller. It fits in my hands great. You know, ergonomically it's great. But I mean, what PlayStation did with their new controller is just awesome. And that's something that Xbox is sorely lacking is a controller as good as the PlayStation's. It's a glaring thing. And once I get done playing everything that I need to play on this Xbox X,
the only negative with the PS5 is that it doesn't have a long shelf life.
Yeah, but I've seen those criticisms, Eric. But I mean,
like I'm pretty sure I'm past 400 hours at this point, but I think it's because I don't play my games as aggressively.
Yeah.
That it hasn't gotten serious drift yet.
I think I'm pretty much past that point too, Eric, and I don't have any issues whatsoever. Like I don't have drift, none of that. But you just buy.
I'm thinking it's actually a certain percentage of launch consoles that had that problem, and I'm just lucky that I didn't get one of them.
Yeah, maybe it's the same here, but if I happen to get
at least in terms of my controller.
I mean, I have two controllers, so it's not a big issue for me. But if this other one goes bad, then I'll just get another one, I guess.
I was thinking about getting a red one anyways because the extended battery life.
Yeah, I'm thinking of getting another PlayStation controller, but I'm gonna wait because I know I'm gonna be playing on this Xbox.
Black Friday's probably gonna have sale on them. Too.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna play on this Xbox for a while because I got a lot of old games like Pillars of Eternity, Prey. You know, a lot of shit that I gotta get done and over with. Is there anything? This is a question for Breakman. Is there anything in particular? Well, actually, this is a question for Eric because Eric is the only one with it. You don't have an X, do you, Break?
No.
Break or Eric? What game should I play? What is a must-own on Xbox X?
The multi-platform console really. The exclusives are kind of threadbare, but.
What game do you think I should play on the Xbox?
But if you have Game Pass,
I don't have Game Pass, so it's gonna have to be just a game that you think that I should play on Xbox in particular.
I think it'd probably run better on PS5, but I guess there's Tales of Arise.
I'd rather play that on the PlayStation for sure. I'm talking about it like either an exclusive or something that you heard is plays slightly better on the Xbox.
There really isn't much.
All right. Well, I'll try to figure it out because I do need to. I mean, maybe Skyrim because I heard Skyrim is updated for the Xbox X, so maybe I'll do that or Alien Isolation or something. But you know, whatever. I mean, it's great. It's a great system. Like
Final Fantasy 15 plays better on the Xbox.
Oh, well, I have it, so maybe I'll play that.
But I don't think you played it really, so maybe you should get to it.
Yeah, maybe I should.
I mean, it's big in and play about as well as it did on the Xbox One X, but if you haven't played it yet, it's still probably loads slightly faster on the series.
That's one thing I did notice out of the box when I started playing Titanfall. I'm gonna play Titanfall first, and then I might start in on Final Fantasy 15. But I think I overall it's a good impression that I have for the system. I think it's great. The load times are definitely better. When I loaded up Titanfall 2, it was like, I mean, it was just almost instantaneous. So that solid state drive is definitely good. It's a good thing. So there you go. I think the Xbox X is great. It's not quite as good as the PlayStation, but I know that there's lots of games that I can only play on the Xbox, like Senua's Sacrifice. The next game is going to be exclusive. I know that all the what is that big company that they acquired, the RPG company that did what is that the big company that they acquired that does all the RPGs? Bethesda. The Bethesda games are going to be like pretty much console exclusives for a while at least, and stuff like that. So I'm glad I got it, and I'm glad I'm caught up with some stuff, and now I can just concentrate on my backlog, get a lot of that shit done, and go back to my PlayStation 5. I know once I get done with these games and a couple others on the Xbox, I'll be going right back to the PlayStation because the controller is just that much better. But anyways, let's move on to. I don't think I skipped anybody. Break, did I got your Sweeto, right? I didn't?
Yes, you got it.
Okay, sorry. All right, let's move on to our free for all.
It's a free-for-all.
All right, guys, this is round 2 of our scariest game ever on our tournament. How dare you, Breakman, you son of a bitch. Exiled. We're doing round 2 of the scariest game ever. Breakman, take it away.
All right. First, we're going to start out with a classic matchup. Resident Evil, the original, versus Silent Hill, the original.
I hate you, Breakman, for doing this. I don't know why.
I'm going to let you start this out then.
Oh, I really hate you doubly for this. This is. I mean, if you're gonna put together a bracket, you put 2 of the greatest franchises pitting together right away. Like, shouldn't these be like?
Both of these, there are more of the franchise for both of those in here. This is just the original.
I know. I mean, I guess if we're going with the original of these 2, I mean, I'm gonna take Resident Evil by a very, very slight margin. But this is such a tough choice because Silent Hill is all about atmosphere. Resident Evil is all about horror. And Silent Hill definitely has those horror elements, but I'm going to go with Resident Evil on this one.
Eric?
For as much as Capcom ports Resident Evil to everything, they have a hard time porting the classic Resident Evil 1 through 3 games to the consoles. It's like, really? Why can't you do this? But whatever. I'm voting for Silent Hill.
I'm the tiebreaker. Silent Hill versus Resident Evil. 2 scary games. I really enjoyed the original Resident Evil. Just a fantastic game all around, and I'm like.
Is it really scarier though? That's what we're getting
There
at.
are times in it when, like we mentioned earlier, like the shark encounter. I mean, when I say earlier, I mean last week. Like the first time you had to deal with the shark, or you go down the hallway and suddenly something bursts through the window. Like, there were definitely scary moments in that game.
Yeah. Okay. I mean.
Next, we have Clock Tower versus Fatal Frame. Eric?
Voting for Clock Tower.
Eric? All right, Frank?
All right, this is a tough one as well. As much as I want to say Clock Tower, Eric, I mean, it is fucking scary. Bernie can attest to that. She loves Clock Tower. Scissor
When you
Man.
hear that Scissor Man theme, it's like, oh no.
Yeah, she loves that. Should I pick Clock Tower
Or
then?
before the theme, you hear the clang of the scissors first.
I can't pick Clock Tower though, because Fatal Frame, to me, is one of the scariest games ever for a fucking reason. Like
Well, I have more experience with the Clock Tower. That's why I voted for
Yeah,
it. So.
well, that's fine. I have experience with both, but Fatal Frame to me is slightly scarier because not only do you have like the normal scares like ghosts going around, you have to fight these ghosts off but basically by taking pictures of them if you can get them in frame. But the better the picture, the more damage you do to them. It was actually a really innovative system. But Clock Tower is scary as hell. With that theme music that Eric mentioned. But I'm going Fatal Frame just because there are some certain jump scares. Like I remember one jump scare where this lady like crawls out of this like crawl space thing at you, and it's scary as fucking all hell. So Fatal Frame for me, Breakman.
I'm sorry, Frank, because I gotta go with Clock Tower.
How dare you guys?
The whole
Son of
scissors,
bitches.
like you have to hide. There's no fighting this guy. Like you know that anytime he could kill you, and you're just sitting there
Hold on.
hiding and waiting.
And if you go in the
Like,
rooms in the
hide
wrong
shower,
order,
you're sitting there
Yeah.
waiting, like,
and you waste too much time, you'll end up getting one of the guests killed, and you'll get one of the worst endings.
Bernie has something to say about this. Oh, go ahead, Bernie.
Scissor Man. I used to go up to my brothers and sisters, and I'd crouch down real low and pretend like I had little big giant scissors and scare the shit out of them.
You're so evil.
I am.
You're so evil. All right, so Clock Tower it is, Breakman.
Next we have Eternal Darkness versus Prey, and it's whichever Prey fuck you want. I don't care. Hey, go ahead, start.
Oh, you say Eric or myself?
You know what? I'll fucking start this.
All
one.
right.
Prey is a good game. I tend to pick the original, even though I've heard the modern one is scarier. But just the whole, like, you're suddenly just doing your normal routine life. All of a sudden, aliens attack and they're murdering everybody around you. And you're stuck on their ship, and there's horror everywhere you turn. Whereas Eternal Darkness, any second there could be horror because of the whole sanity thing. Like, you just start losing your mind and start looking around the screen or other shit that would just fuck with you. And for that, I'm going to go Eternal Darkness. What about you, Frank?
I don't think there's any question that I'm picking Eternal Darkness. I think Eternal Darkness is an all-time great game and an all-time scary game. It's not even close for me. I do like Prey, but Eternal Darkness all day, every day. Eric?
I'm not having experience of Prey. I'm waiting for Eternal Darkness.
Yeah. Sweep.
Sweep. That's the first sweep we've had. Next we have Outlast versus Suffering. Frank.
I love the Suffering. We've discussed this ad nauseum, Breakman. I think the Suffering is criminally underrated. It is super scary. But Outlast, man. I mean, you want to talk about a game where you cannot really do anything but run and hide. Outlast does that, ratchets it up like times 10. So I'm going with Outlast. I know that might be, this might be an underdog undertaking, but Outlast for me.
I'm a huge fan of The Suffering. Like you said, underrated game, and it's one of my favorite horror games of all time. And there are definitely a lot of scary scenes in it where you're kind of minding your own business, and all of a sudden, like, you'll hear a voice telling you, like, don't do it or do it, or suddenly you'll flash to like a memory, and it's just, you can tell like how haunted the main character is. It's the horror game, like being trapped in a prison. Just sort of like being trapped in a school, you know. There's no escape.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna go to Suffering. So Eric, you're the tiebreaker.
No, that's actually the subtitle of Detention, the prison of school. I'm voting for Outlast because The Suffering, wasn't that more of like an action game?
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's definitely a scary ass action game, for sure. But Outlast, man, oh.
like the scene when you get into suffering, come across the electric chair. Like that whole scene was terrifying. But it was done. But anyways, it doesn't get to move on. Outlast does. Next.
Bitter much, Breakman? Bitter?
No, I mean. Next, we have Clock Tower 2 versus Amnesia and Machine for Pigs. Eric.
Gonna vote for Clock Tower 2.
Frank?
No, wait, no. This is the one I hate. I'm voting for Amnesia.
Yeah, I'm with Eric on this one. Clock Tower 2, not nearly as great as the first one. Amnesia, Machine for Pigs, not quite as good as Amnesia. It was pretty good DLC, though. So I'm going with Amnesia as well.
I have no experience with Amnesia, so I was just going to say Clock Tower 2, but that doesn't matter because Amnesia moves on. Next, we have Alan Wake versus... I'm trying to type and so at the same time. Alan Wake versus the Resident Evil 2 remake. I really haven't played Alan Wake, and I'm just going off of the video I've seen of Resident Evil 2 and Alan Wake, and I really like what I've seen from the Resident Evil 2 remake.
I think Resident Evil 2 is infinitely scarier than Alan Wake is.
I would disagree with that, but I would pick Resident Evil 2 remake just because they did such a great job. Alan Wake, I have not played the remastered version. I would like to play it, though, because I disagree. I think it's scary as hell. I think the monsters that you fight in that are really scary. So, but I'm going with Resident Evil 2. It's a clean sweep.
Let me see there. Resident Evil 2 moves on. Next, we have Silent Hill 2 versus Fear 2, and I'm going to go ahead and start. You reminded me of some of the scarier aspects of 2. Like, I just remembered the first one, but Fear 2 did have a lot of scary aspects in it. Silent Hill's an all-time classic. Obviously, everybody knows Pyramid Head and stuff like that. It's iconic, and I love Fear. I gotta go with Fear 2. What about you, Frank?
I think this is an easy one for me. As much as I like Fear and Fear 2 break, Silent Hill 2 to me is another pantheon scary game of all time because of the ambiance, the atmosphere, the fog, the whole thing made that game super unnerving. So Silent Hill 2 to me
I don't even know
is...
if I bothered asking either one of you because I know both the answers are Silent Hill 2.
How dare you? How dare you? You never know, Break. Fear 2 is...
You already know how I feel about Fear, though, so he's right.
Silent Hill 2 is an all-time great scary game, though. So
that is probably the most legendary game in the franchise.
Yeah.
Silent Hill 2 moves on. Next, we have The Evil Within 2 versus Dead Space 2. Eric, you can start this one out.
I'm going to go with Evil Within 2.
Within 2. Frank, how about you?
That's really surprising, Eric. Evil Within 2 is an underrated game. It's super scary, but it doesn't hold a candle to Dead Space 2, which is even scarier. I love Dead Space 2. I think it's an all-time great, and I'm super happy to see that they redid Dead Space 1 coming out, which I think is another all-time great scary game. But Dead Space 2 for me, so that means Breakman.
You don't mind the fact that EA killed the studio that made Dead Space.
I know.
And this new company's doing it.
Yeah. Well, it looks like they're doing a great job, but Breakman...
Yeah, at least the company that made, or the people that behind Dead Space are making Callisto Protocol, so I wonder... I'm not sure about that game, but maybe it'll be nice.
So Breakman is the tiebreaker on this one.
Oh, I'm going to have to hurt Eric's feelings because I'm with Frank. Dead Space 2 is an all-time great as far as a horror game goes. I have to go back to those little creepy baby heads.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Every time they show up, like, oh, what the fuck? Oh, God, there are more. They just keep coming.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, those things with the tentacles and, oh, God, yeah. Great stuff.
2 moves on. Next, we have, this is the third bracket, so we got 2 left. Resident Evil 7 versus Soma. I admit I'd never heard of Soma before. I'm going to go ahead and start and vote for Resident Evil 7. Frank.
Soma's a great scary game, but it's more in the lore, more in like the environment. But
isn't it about like Cthulhu or something?
there's it's kind of ambiguous, Eric. But I think overall, Resident Evil 7 is scarier, so I'm going with Resident Evil 7 as well.
Resident Evil 7.
Sweet. That's only the second one we've had. Wow. Okay, awesome. Next we have Amnesia: The Dark Descent versus Alien Isolation. Eric.
Oh, let me get my phone.
Never mind, Frank.
All right, I'll go first on this one. I've been on record as saying that Alien Isolation may go down as a top 5 scary game of all time, but also Amnesia's up there too. Amnesia's another one of those games where all you can do is run and hide, a la Outlast. I really want to say Amnesia, but since it's going up against Alien Isolation, I have to pick Alien Isolation. To me, it is definitely one of the scariest experiences ever that I've ever had playing a video game. It's terrifying. Alien Isolation all day for me.
Cool. I can't wait to get to the better parts of that game. I haven't played Amnesia, and as I admitted, I've just started playing Alien Isolation. I've not come across an Alien yet. However, as somebody who's enjoyed the Alien movies, like the ship that you're on, like it feels like it is out of the Alien movies.
Yes.
It's dark and dank, and the technology kind of the technology is that old futuristic look, what they thought the future would look like back in like the 80s. And obviously we're way past that technology now, but still, like just I can see by the atmosphere.
It's totally unnerving, man. Just wait. You haven't seen anything yet, man.
I know. I can't wait. So, Eric, that leaves you. No, sorry.
I'm voting for Alien Isolation because the limited experience I have of Amnesia isn't enough for me to say anything, but I know lots of people giving me accounts of how scary Isolation is. So I'll vote for Isolation.
They're both great and scary, and Amnesia deserve better. I'll just say that. You guys should check out Amnesia: Dark Descent.
Next, we have the original Dead Space versus Detention. We've talked a little bit about Detention. It sounds like a terrifying game to me, but I said last week, Dead Space up until this point is the scariest game I've ever played. So I have to pick Dead Space. What about you, Eric?
Not having played Detention, I'm going to go with Dead Space.
Detention is terrifying, guys, but Dead Space is... man, it takes terrifying to a new level, man. I mean, what they did with that game was amazing, both 1 and 2, and I gotta pick Dead Space as much as I like Detention.
Like in Dead Space, one of my favorite parts is they kind of established that there's a safe spot at that trolley or train or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then one level, they fucking take that safe spot away from you because they put a bad guy in there. Like a monster suddenly attacks you, like where you think you're safe.
Yeah,
that's just kind of the shit they pull with you.
Yeah, that's a great game, man. I love Dead Space 1 and I love Dead Space 2.
Yeah, great game. Next we have Dead Space moves on. Next we have Observer versus Bloodborne. I've played neither one of these, so my point of view really doesn't matter. Frank, you can go ahead and start.
I've played both of these. Observer is a kind of a cyberpunky, Blade Runner-esque game starring Rutger Hauer. It's a first-person view game, but it's pretty terrifying at times. But the lore in Bloodborne alone is worthy of it being ascended to the top 4, in my opinion. It's scary all the way around, from the enemies to the lore to the aesthetic to the atmosphere to the buildings to the whole kind of Cthulhu / old gods kind of thinking. It's got to be Bloodborne. I'm picking Bloodborne.
Eric?
Bloodborne.
Yeah. No, I was going to be a tiebreaker and just let you guys sell me on it, but Bloodborne, I'll move on. I'll just agree with you so we can all get another. Yeah. Next, we have one of my personal favorites, Fear versus Until Dawn. As I just said, it's one of my favorites. It was the reason I bought a whole like upgraded PC and shit for the original Fear. It was such a great game. Fear for me, Eric.
Until Dawn.
Okay, Frank, you're the tiebreaker. Fear versus Until Dawn.
God, I love both of these games, Break, and I think I've broken your heart enough times, Break Man.
You can do it again. It's fine.
No, I love Until Dawn. I think it's a great game. It's worthy of playing for sure. But something about Fear in a first-person mode just scared the shit out of me when I played it the first time I played it. I'm gonna have to ever so slightly, go with Fear.
Yeah, Fear did make me jump several times. Not from like jump scares. It's just the way they'd scare you with the woman and stuff like that. Sometimes they'd make it seem you wouldn't know exactly when it was going to happen. So sometimes you get attacked by a regular enemy when you're expecting something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just it would mess with you in different ways. Anyway, Fear moves on, despite Eric's protest. Next we have Manhunt versus Little Nightmares, which I've never played. I've played Manhunt, and it's not traditional scary like this one. This is you're more of the serial killer in Manhunt than other ones, but there are some jump scares and some scary stuff in it. I pick Manhunt. Frank, what about you?
It's got to be Little Nightmares for me, Breakman. Little Nightmares will give you fucking nightmares. You're basically this little girl on this ship, and you got these horrific monsters trying to get you. And not only get you, they're getting you for a reason, because they want to fucking eat you. So, Little Nightmares for me, man. I do like Manhunt, though.
Eric, you're the tiebreaker.
Little Nightmares.
Nightmares moves on. Wow. Okay. That's the first time we haven't. Oh wait, no, we didn't agree on the last one. What am I talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about.
I need food.
Yeah, it's getting late. I think that my mind's kind of focused on food too. We've only got two more left here. Friday the 13th versus The Evil Within. I started the last one. Frank, you can go ahead and start.
Friday the 13th's definitely a scary multiplayer game. I haven't played much of it. I did play with Freak 5 a time or two. Fun time all the way around, but definitely scary. But Evil Within is, to me, I think it's the same guy that created Resident Evil. Am I right on that, Eric? So there's a lot of that influence in there, and you see it in that game. Breakman, you would love Evil Within and Evil Within 2. I'm going with Evil Within.
Evil Within.
I was going to go Friday the 13th. There's moments in there when you're looking around the house and all of a sudden his music plays and it's like, fuck, that means he's close.
Yeah.
Like, where am I going to go?
No, I hear you, Breakman, but Evil Within it takes terror to a different level.
I'm just stating my case for a game that lost.
I hear you.
And you're running through the woods and you're running out of stamina and he's getting closer to you. You're like, fuck, come on.
I know.
You bitch, run harder.
There's no relief in that game ever, man. It's a high tension game, man. I do like it quite a bit.
But the best parts are when you play Jason and get to go kill him. Evil Within moves on. Next we have, and this is the final one, Condemned versus The Thing. Eric, you get to do the honors of the last.
I'm gonna vote for The Thing.
Whew. This one's a tough one for me. I love both of these games. The Thing is frustrating to play, but it's great to watch. I played it on the PlayStation 2. It's a great game, and it's got everything that the Thing movie had in it, pretty much. But Condemned had this wicked story about a serial killer and these wicked tools that you could use to follow the trail, and it's a great game. Condemned is another one of those underrated gems. I'm going with Condemned, Breakman.
Wow, you leave me to be a tiebreaker. This one's a hard one. The Thing, I love how one of the concepts is, just like in a movie, you don't know who to trust. And in a game, you absolutely don't know who to trust. Anybody can turn on you at any point.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a really fucking cool aspect. But I did play Condemned a long time ago. I think it was an original Xbox game, I think.
Yeah.
And just the whole imagery and going into like the scenes that, like going into an apartment where somebody's been murdered, and you're kind of investigating it through the whole setting of Condemned. I thought just ratcheted itself very well.
Yeah.
And scariness. I'm gonna go with Condemned.
Yeah, it's a good choice, man. I love The Thing. I think it's scary. Continues from the first movie, and it's just really, really good. But Condemned is an underrated gem that everybody should play.
Yeah, and this is going to be good next week. We've got some good ones coming up. Resident Evil versus Clock Tower.
Oh, my goodness, man.
Silent Hill 2 versus Dead Space 2.
Yes, that's...
Dead Space versus Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Nightmares versus Fear. Ooh, we're going to have some good ones next week.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be really good, Breakman. You set this up very, very, very well. So, very good.
Let me see here. We got 1, 2, 3 weeks left of the month. Yeah, okay, this is working out.
Yeah, it's gonna work out perfect.
Awesome.
Yep. All right, let's do our plugs real quick. Breakman, plug away.
You can follow me at break_man on. Okay. God damn it! Why did I even do that? I'm sorry. I was right. You can follow me at RPGrinders on Twitter, and that's about it. Unless Elon Musk buys Twitter, and then maybe he'll free me up.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe there's a bright side. I can get my name back.
There you go.
Hey,
all right, Eric.
Come on, Elon, buy it.
Plug away, Eric.
You can find reviews on BostonBashBrigade.com. Those are the written ones, or you can listen to the audio reviews on the feed.
And that's at rpgrinders.podbean.com is where you can see those.
And if you like either of those and you want to support the work I do, you can go to my Patreon, which is the link to that is in my Twitter profile, which is at EricRPG.
All right. Anything else, Eric?
Not really.
Okay. You can follow me on Twitter at Frank Branches. You can follow me on any of the systems, either Frank Branches or RPGrinders. I want to thank everybody in chat. Freak5, Wyland was in there. Let me see if I missed anybody else. Lexus the Nexus, Alien Gathering, Commander Root, Danking Around, Discord Streamer Community, which I think is a bot. Katina, thank you for being in there. Paul Arigu, I think that's how you say that. Small Streamers Community, another bot. Sophia Fox 21 and Valentina Alcaraz. Thank you guys so much. Really, really appreciate y'all. Hope you see us next week. We will be back bigger, better than ever, all that stuff. You know that. Anything else, gentlemen?
I don't know, but apparently Freak saw Pug humping a...
Oh, also, make sure you watch Hellraiser. I want that movie to do really well. Terrifier 2 at theaters. Apparently, Smile's pretty good. It's just a good month for horror movies in general so far.
Is that on Hulu or Netflix?
Hulu.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Hulu. So check it out, Break.
It's it was on Netflix. If something could top that Dahmer thing, like goddamn.
Oh, dude, check out Hellraiser, man. It'll rinse that bad taste out of your mouth for sure. It's good stuff.
Rinse everybody's bad taste is what I was saying. Like,
yeah.
I need to stop watching that shit.
Yeah. Okay, guys, take care. Stay safe this weekend. We want to see you back here next week. Until then, we are out. Later, everybody. Oh, you're so weird, Breakman. There you go. I don't know what that was, but that was something. Hey, everybody in chat, thank you guys so much.
It was something.
It was something, for sure. All right, everybody in chat, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate y'all.